Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome to Let's Start Story on What If Harry Potter Became a Young Explorer of the Wizarding World. So do 4 blue hearts comment. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video, and please share with your friends and watch till end. Also check out Patreon for I have upload Harry x Ginny uncensored spicy version, link in description.
Harry was halfway down the drainpipe when he heard Aunt Petunia shriek from inside the bed and breakfast. Vernon. He's gone again. His trainers hit the gravel path and he ran. The morning air was cold against his face and he didn't care where he was going as long as it was away from that cramped room where Dudley snored like a congested walrus and Uncle Vernon's presence sucked up all the oxygen. They'd dragged him to Cornwall for Aunt Marge's surgery recovery, and Harry would rather be locked in his cupboard back home than spend another minute pretending to be invincible while his cousin threw tantrums about the beach being too sandy. The rocky shoreline opened up ahead and Harry slowed to a jog. His lungs burned, but in a good way. Free. That's what this felt like. He'd been here 3 days and every morning he escaped before the Dursleys finished their massive breakfast. They never looked for him too hard because Vernon always said, "Let the boy tire himself out. Maybe he'll be less freakish at dinner." Harry was fine with that arrangement. The tide was out and the beach stretched for miles. Rocks and tide pools everywhere. Seaweed drying in dark clumps. The smell of salt and fish and something else he couldn't name. He picked his way across the slippery stones toward the water, looking for a good spot to just sit and not think about anything. That's when he saw her. A girl maybe a year younger than him, blonde hair hanging past her shoulders, crouched beside a large tide pool with her entire arm submerged up to the elbow. She was wearing a bright yellow raincoat that looked 3 sizes too big and mismatched wellies, one purple, one green. A battered bucket sat next to her with something moving inside. Harry stopped. He wasn't used to other kids approaching him willingly. At school everyone thought he was weird. Dudley made sure of that. The girl pulled her arm out of the tide pool holding a crab. Not a small one either. The thing was the size of her hand and its claws snapped at the air. "Hello," she said without looking at him. "You're disturbing the nargles." Harry blinked. "The what?" "Nargles. They're swarming around your head. Quite thick actually. You must be very sad about something." She placed the crab carefully in her bucket and finally turned to look at him. Her eyes were this pale gray color that seemed too big for her face. She stared at him without blinking and Harry felt like she could see straight through him. "I'm not sad," he lied. "That's all right. Most people can't see nargles anyway. I'm Luna." She streaked out her hand like they were adults meeting at one of Uncle Vernon's work functions. Harry shook it. Her grip was surprisingly firm. "Harry, what are you doing out here so early, Harry?" "Getting away from my relatives. They're awful." "Oh." Luna nodded like this made perfect sense. "My mum says some families are infested with Raxperts. They make your brain go all fuzzy and mean. Perhaps your relatives have those." Harry had no idea what she was talking about, but something about the way she said it, completely serious, like these Raxpert things were as real as the crab in her bucket, made him smile. "What are you doing with that crab?" "Collecting specimens for Mum's research. She's a magizoologist, studies magical creatures. There's a particular species of crab here that can sense emotional disturbances in the water. Mum thinks they might be part Kelpie ancestry, which would explain their temperamental nature." Luna peered into her bucket. "This one's definitely sensing something. See how its left claw keeps twitching?" Harry crouched down to look. The crab was indeed twitching its left claw in a weird rhythmic pattern. "Are you making fun of me?" "Why would I do that?" "Because you're talking about magic. Magic isn't real." The words tasted like lies in his mouth. Harry had seen too many impossible things to believe that. But every time something weird happened around him, the Dursleys punished him for it. He'd learned to deny everything. Luna tilted her head. "You don't really believe that?" "Yes I do." "No you don't. I can tell. You have that look. The same one I have when kids at my primary school say Mum's research is rubbish." She stood up and brushed sand off her knees. "You're magical too, obviously." Harry's heart started pounding. "I don't know what you're talking about. The nargles wouldn't swarm you otherwise. And look." Luna pointed at the tide pool. The water was rippling even though there was no wind and neither of them had touched it. "That started when you walked over here." Water responds to magical presence. Didn't you know that? You're completely mad. Probably. Luna smiled. It was the kind of smile that invited you to be mad with her. But I'm right. You can do things, can't you? Strange things that you don't mean to do. Things that scare the people around you. Harry's mouth went dry. He'd never told anyone about the things that happened. Like the time he'd ended up on the school roof without knowing how. Or when he'd made Aunt Petunia's pudding explode because Dudley was mocking him. Or just last week when he'd been so angry at Vernon that all the windows in the house had cracked. How do you know that? Because I can do things too. Watch. Luna held up her hand and the crab in the bucket floated into the air, claws still snapping. She moved her fingers and the crab drifted in a slow circle before settling back down. See, magic. Harry stared. His brain couldn't process what he'd just seen. But his chest felt lighter than it had in years. That's real. Of course it's real. We're witches and wizards, Harry. Well, you're a wizard. I'm a witch. It's perfectly normal, just not for muggles. Muggles. Non-magical people. Like your awful relatives probably. Mum says lots of magical children get born to muggle families. It's genetics. Something about recessive alleles and spontaneous magical expression. She has a whole theory about it, but it's quite complex. Luna picked up her bucket. Want to help me find more crabs? I need 3 more specimens and it's more fun with a partner. Harry should have walked away. This girl was obviously weird and probably making fun of him with some elaborate prank. But something in him wanted to believe her so badly it hurt. And she was the first kid who'd ever talked to him like he was normal. Well, not normal exactly. But not a freak either. Okay, he said. Luna's smile got wider. Brilliant. You take that pool over there. Look for the ones with blue spots on their shells. Those are the special ones. They spent the next hour searching tide pools. Luna kept up a steady stream of chatter about her mum's research, magical creatures Harry had never heard of. And her theories about various types of invisible beings that apparently infested everything. She talked about magic like it was the most natural thing in the world. Harry found himself relaxing, actually laughing when Luna's boot got stuck in the mud and she had to hop around on one foot. She didn't get embarrassed, just laughed with him and used magic to yank the boot free. Does your mum know you can do that? Harry asked as they sat on a large flat rock, their collected crabs secured in the bucket between them. Of course, she's been teaching me since I was 5. Control is important, otherwise your magic does whatever it wants and that can be dangerous. Luna pulled a sandwich from her coat pocket. It was slightly squashed. She broke it in half and offered him a piece without asking. Harry took it. Cheese and pickle. He was starving. My relatives hate when weird things happen around me. They call me a freak. They sound perfectly dreadful. Mum says fear of magic is a sign of an inferior intellect. Which is a nice way of saying they're stupid. Harry laughed so hard he nearly choked on his sandwich. Your mum sounds great. She is. Dad's great too. He runs a magazine called The Quibbler. Prints all the stories regular wizarding newspapers won't touch. He says the truth matters more than popularity. Luna swung her legs, heels banging against the rock. What about your parents? Dead. Car crash when I was a baby. Oh. Luna was quiet for a moment. I'm sorry. That's terribly sad. I don't remember them. That's sad too. Different kind of sad but still sad. She reached over and patted his shoulder awkwardly. If it helps, you probably didn't lose them in a car crash. Wizards don't usually die that way. Too many protective spells on vehicles. Someone probably lied to you. The sandwich turned to cardboard in Harry's mouth. What? Sorry. That came out wrong. I meant that if your parents were magical, which they probably were because you're magical, then a car crash seems unlikely. Unless they'd had their magic bound, but that's illegal. Or maybe they were murdered. Luna said it like she was discussing the weather. That happens sometimes in the magical world. Dark wizards and feuds and politics. It's all quite complicated. Harry's hands had started shaking. Murdered. Possibly. I'm just theorizing. Mum says I should consider all possibilities before drawing conclusions. Don't be upset though. I could be completely wrong. They might have been muggles who just happened to have magical genetics that expressed in you. That's more common actually. How do I find out? Luna thought about it. You could ask someone who knew them. Or wait until you get your Hogwarts letter. That's the magical school. You'll get one when you turn 11. Everyone does. They'll have records there. Hogwarts. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It's in Scotland. Hidden from muggles by very powerful enchantments. I'll go there in a few years. We could be friends there too. She said it simply, like it was already decided. Harry had never had a friend before. The word felt foreign. Yeah, we could be. Excellent. Oh look, a freshwater plimpy. Or possibly just a tadpole. Hard to tell at this stage. Luna hopped off the rock and waded into a shallow pool, completely soaking her mismatched wellies. Harry watched her splash around and felt something weird happening in his chest. Not bad weird, good weird, like something frozen was starting to thaw. A shout echoed across the beach. Boy, get back here now. Harry's whole body went rigid. Uncle Vernon's voice carried across the rocks like a foghorn. Luna looked up. Is that your relative? Yeah, I have to go. Will you be here tomorrow? I don't know. Probably not. They'll lock me in the room. Luna tilted her head. That's child abuse. You could report them. To who? No one believes me. I believe you. She waded out of the pool and rummaged in her pocket. Here, take this. She pressed something into his palm. It was a coin, old and worn smooth, with strange symbols carved into both sides. It was warm from her pocket. What is it? A communication device. Daddy made it for Mum and me. When one person holds their coin, the other person's coin gets warm. So we can know when the other is thinking about us. This is my spare. You keep it. Luna closed his fingers around it. That way even if they lock you up, you'll know I'm thinking about you. And I'll know when you're thinking about me. Boy, don't make me come down there. I really have to go. Wait. Luna grabbed his wrist. Write to me. Muggle Post works fine. I'll give you my address. She produced a stubby pencil from another pocket and grabbed Harry's arm, writing directly on his skin. Her handwriting was messy but readable. There. Lovegood Residence. Don't forget. I won't. Promise. Promise. Luna let go and stepped back. It was lovely meeting you, Harry. I hope your relatives get infested with Raxperts. The really itchy kind. Harry laughed despite the terror flooding his system. Vernon was definitely going to make him regret this. Thanks. It was lovely meeting you too. He ran. Uncle Vernon was purple-faced and trembling by the time Harry scrambled up the beach path. Where have you been? We've been looking everywhere. Thought you'd drowned yourself and we'd have to deal with the police and... I was just on the beach. Who were you talking to? No one. Vernon grabbed Harry's collar and dragged him back toward the bed and breakfast. You were talking to someone. I saw you. What did you tell them? Did you mention us? Did you mention your freakishness? No, I didn't say anything. You better not have. Last thing we need is people thinking we're associated with your kind. Get in your room. You're staying there for the rest of the day. The room was exactly as Harry left it. Dudley's toys and sweet wrappers everywhere. His own small bag shoved in the corner. Vernon threw him inside and slammed the door. Harry sat on the floor and opened his hand. The coin was still there, slightly warm. He held it tight and thought about Luna standing in that tide pool, completely fearless. Talking about magic like it was real. The coin grew warmer. Harry smiled. The Dursleys kept him locked in for the rest of that day and all of the next. Dudley whined about being bored and Aunt Petunia fussed over him constantly while Harry sat by the window watching the beach below. He couldn't see Luna from this angle but he held the coin and felt it warm up intermittently. Sometimes for just a few seconds. Sometimes for minutes at a time. It was the best punishment he'd ever received. On the third day, Aunt Petunia actually looked apologetic when she let him out for breakfast. Vernon thinks you've learned your lesson, she said quietly. Don't make trouble today. Marge is having a bad morning and we're taking Dudley to the aquarium. You'll stay here. Fine. They left an hour later. Harry waited until the car disappeared down the road before he bolted. The beach was foggier today. The kind of thick coastal fog that muffled sound and made everything feel isolated. Harry picked his way to the spot where he'd met Luna, hoping she'd be there. She was. Same yellow raincoat. Same mismatched wellies. She was crouched over a different tide pool with what looked like a small net. You came back, she said without turning around. How did you know it was me? Your coin got warm. Mine did too. Plus your footsteps are distinctive. You run more than you walk. Harry sat down next to her. What are you catching now? Sea anemones. They're not magical but they're pretty. Mum says beauty matters in research. People pay more attention to beautiful things. She scooped one up and held it out. The anemone's tentacles waved in the air. Want to hold it? Won't it sting? Only if you're prey. You're not prey. Luna deposited it in Harry's palm. The tentacles tickled but didn't hurt. They spent the morning like that. Luna collecting things and explaining them. Harry asking questions and actually getting answers. She taught him how to spot the difference between magical and non-magical seaweed. The magical kind glowed faintly if you looked at it right. She showed him how to sense magic in objects by closing his eyes and feeling for warmth. Everyone's magic feels different, Luna explained. Mine feels like wind chimes. Light and tingly. Yours feels like a thunderstorm. Powerful and a bit dangerous. Not in a bad way. Just in a way that makes you pay attention. How can you tell? Practice. Here, try it. Hold your hand near this shell and tell me what you feel. Harry did. At first nothing. Then a faint buzzing sensation in his palm. It vibrates. Exactly. That means it's got residual magic in it. Probably from a water sprite. They're attracted to pretty shells. Luna pocketed the shell. You're actually quite good at this. Most Muggle said wizards don't sense magic at all until they start proper training. Is that what you are? A Muggle-raised wizard? No, I'm magical born. Both my parents are magical. But you're probably Muggle-iced if you didn't know about the magical world until now. She paused. Or possibly not. If your parents were murdered by a dark wizard, you might have been hidden away with Muggle relatives for protection. That happens in stories. Harry's stomach twisted. Do you really think they were murdered? Luna looked at him seriously. I think you deserve to know the truth either way. Lies hurt more than truth does. That's what Mum says. Your mum sounds really smart. She is. You'd like her. Luna stood up and brushed off her coat. Come on. I want to show you something. She led him away from T. He tied pools to a section of the beach where large rocks formed natural shelters. Luna climbed into a cave-like space between two massive boulders and Harry followed. Inside, she'd created a little hideout. A battery-powered lantern. Some books stacked in a corner. A blanket spread over the sandy floor. Drawings pinned to the rock walls with some kind of adhesive charm that made them stick without nails. This is my reading spot. Luna said proudly. I come here when I want to think. You can use it too while you're here. This is amazing. Thank you. I designed it myself. She picked up one of the books. This is Mum's copy of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's got information on every known magical creature. Well, most of them. Mum says there are loads of creatures the author missed. That's why she does her own research. Luna opened the book and showed him pages of incredible illustrations. Dragons, unicorns, things that looked like crosses between animals that shouldn't be able to cross. Each entry had detailed notes in the margins in handwriting too neat to be Luna's. Your mum wrote these? Yes, she's documenting everything she finds. This one here, Luna pointed to a note about Thestrals. She actually discovered that they can sense emotional trauma, not just death. The official books get it wrong. But she proved it with her research. Harry couldn't read fast enough. Every page showed him more proof that magic was real. That the weird things he could do weren't freakish. They were normal. For a wizard anyway. Can I borrow this? Luna hesitated. It's very precious. But yes, you should read it. Just be careful with it. And make sure your Muggle relatives don't find it. They might destroy it out of spite. They definitely would. Harry held the book like it was made of glass. Thank you. You're welcome. What are friends for? They spent hours in the little cave. Luna read passages from the book out loud, adding her own commentary. Harry asked approximately 1 million questions and Luna answered every single one. She never made him feel stupid for not knowing things. Never acted superior even though she clearly knew so much more than him. The fog thickened as afternoon approached. Harry knew he should get back before the Dursleys returned but he didn't want to leave. Tomorrow's our last day here, he said. We're leaving the day after. Luna's expression didn't change but something in her eyes went dim. Oh, but I'll write to you. I promise. I already memorized your address. Good. Because I'll write back. And we'll use the coins. And then when we both get to Hogwarts, we'll be together again. She said it firmly, like she was making it true through force of will. Yeah, definitely. Harry. Luna's voice got quieter. Quote, I'm glad you climbed down that drainpipe. This week has been the best week I've had in a long time. Me too. The coin in Harry's pocket grew warm even though neither of them was touching it. They both felt it. Luna reached out and took his hand. Her fingers were cold from the sea air but her grip was steady. They sat like that until the foghorns started sounding in the distance and Harry knew he had to go. The Dursleys were suspicious when Harry came back. He'd hidden the book in a plastic bag and buried it under the beach cave's sand for safekeeping. He couldn't risk bringing it back to the room. What have you been doing? Aunt Petunia demanded. Just walking on the beach. For 6 hours. There's a lot of beach. Vernon glowered at him over dinner. Staying out of trouble tomorrow. We're leaving early the day after. Need to pack. Fine. That night, Harry held the coin and felt it warm up. He imagined Luna holding hers, sitting in that cave maybe, or in her own bed somewhere. The connection between them was thin and fragile but it was real. The first real thing he'd had in his entire life. He fell asleep with the coin clutched in his fist. The last morning was gray and cold. Rain threatened but hadn't started yet. Harry escaped one final time while the Dursleys were dealing with checking out procedures. Luna was waiting at their cave. She had a backpack with her today and her hair was in braids. Mum's here, she said. She wants to meet you. Harry's heart jumped. Really? She sensed something strange happening with the local magic. The tide pools have been more active than usual. Crabs migrating in unusual patterns. Fish behaving oddly. She thinks it's because of us. Our magic together is affecting the environment. Is that bad? Not bad. Just unusual. Come on. Luna led him to a different section of beach where a woman stood examining something in the rocks. She had the same blonde hair as Luna but longer, twisted into an elaborate braid. She wore layers of bright clothing that didn't quite match and had at least 4 different necklaces. She turned when they approached and Harry saw where Luna got her eyes from. Same pale gray. Same too large quality that made you feel seen. Hello. The woman said warmly. You must be Harry. I'm Pandora Lovegood. Luna's told me all about you. Hi. Harry didn't know how to act around adults who weren't immediately hostile. Don't be nervous. I'm not here to interrogate you. I simply wanted to meet the wizard who's been amplifying my daughter's magic. Pandora smiled. Quite remarkable, actually. I've been studying the magical signatures around this beach all week. When you two are together, the ambient magic level increases by roughly 40%. That's extraordinary for untrained children. Is that bad? Not at all. It's fascinating. You two have what we call a magical resonance. Your magical cores are naturally in harmony. It's very rare. Most wizards never find someone they resonate with so strongly. Pandora pulled out a small device that looked like a compass made of crystal. The needle spun when she held it near Harry. May you what? Test your magical signature. It won't hurt. Just a simple scan. Harry nodded. Pandora waved the device around him in a circle. The needle spun faster and a faint humming sound filled the air. Fascinating, she murmured. Your core is incredibly robust for your age. And untrained too. You must have a strong magical lineage. Do you know anything about your parents? No. My relatives won't tell me anything. Pandora's expression softened. That's unconscionable. Every magical child deserves to know their heritage. She tucked the device away. I won't cry, but if you ever want help finding information about your family, Luna knows how to reach me. The magical community is relatively small. Someone will know who you are. Thank you. Now then. Pandora looked between them. Luna's told me you're leaving today. I want you both to understand something. The resonance you share is a gift. It means your magic will always be stronger when you're together. But it also means you'll feel each other's absence more keenly. The connection won't fade with distance. But it will feel strained. The coins will help, Luna said. Yes, the coins will help. But you'll need more than that. You'll need to maintain regular contact. Letters, shared experiences, trust. Pandora crouched down to their eye level. What you have is special. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And don't let anyone use it for their own purposes. There are wizards who would be very interested in a bonded pair like you. Why? Harry asked. Because bonded pairs have accomplished extraordinary things throughout history. Great magic, great change, some good, some terrible. You'll need to decide what you want your bond to become. Pandora stood. But that's a conversation for when you're older. For now, just be children. Be friends. The rest will sort itself out. She handed Harry a small package wrapped in brown paper. This is for you, from Luna and me. Open it later. I don't have anything to give you. Your friendship with Luna is gift enough. She's been lonely since we moved here. You've made her happy. That matters more than any object. Pandora smiled and ruffled Luna's hair. I'll give you two some privacy. Luna, we need to leave in an hour. Don't lose track of time. She walked away, leaving them alone. Luna and Harry stood there awkwardly. Your mum's really nice, Harry finally said. I know. She worries though. About me making friends. About me being weird. Luna shrugged. I am weird, but you don't seem to mind. I'm pretty weird too. We're both weird together. Exactly. Luna pulled something from her pocket. I made you this. It was a bracelet woven from different colored threads. Little shells and bits of sea glass were worked into the pattern. In the center, she'd somehow attached a tiny vial of sand. The sand is from our cave, Luna explained, so you can remember this week. And look, the shells are from the first day we met. The sea glass is from different days. Each piece is a memory. Harry's throat felt tight. No one had ever made him anything before. Luna, thank you. You're welcome. Here, I'll put it on you. She tied it around his wrist carefully. The bracelet fit perfectly. There, now you have the coin and the bracelet. So you'll remember you're not alone. Even when you feel alone. Harry looked at the bracelet and something in him cracked open. Not in a bad way. In a way that let light in. I wish I didn't have to go back to them, he whispered. I know, but you will go to Hogwarts. In 3 years. And then you'll be free. Mum says Hogwarts is the safest place in the magical world. No one can hurt you there. Will you really write to me? Every week. I promise. Will you write back? Yeah, every week. They hugged. Harry had never hugged anyone before and didn't really know how. But Luna didn't seem to mind that he was awkward about it. This isn't goodbye, Luna said. This is see you later. See you later. The drive back to Little Whinging felt longer than it should have. Uncle Vernon ranted about the waste of time the trip had been. Dudley whined about being bored. Aunt Petunia just looked tired. Harry sat in the back clutching his new brace. Let under his sleeve and the coin in his pocket. He'd opened Pandora's package in a gas station bathroom. Inside was a book called Basic Magic Theory for Young Wizards, and a note in Pandora's neat handwriting. Harry, your education should not wait until Hogwarts. This book will teach you the fundamentals of magical theory and control. Practice the exercises in private. Trust your instincts. And take care of my daughter. She's braver than she looks, but she needs someone who sees that. P. Lovegood. The book was hidden at the bottom of his bag now. Harry couldn't wait to read it. When they finally arrived at number 4 Privet Drive, Harry carried his bag up to his cupboard without being told. The space felt smaller than before. Darker. But it didn't feel hopeless anymore. He had a friend now. A real one. And magic was real. And in 3 years he'd go to Hogwarts and learn everything. He could survive 3 more years. Harry pulled out a piece of paper and a pencil he'd stolen from the bed and breakfast. He'd never written a letter before, but Luna had given him her address and he had things to tell her. Dear Luna, he wrote. I made it home. Well, not home, but back to the Dursleys' house anyway. Thank you for the bracelet. I'll wear it every day. Thank you for believing me about the weird things. Thank you for telling me about magic. Thank you for being my friend. Alred. Why started reading the book your mum gave me. It's brilliant. Did you know there are different types of magic? Transfiguration and charms and potions and loads of others. I want to learn all of them. I held my coin just now and it got warm. I think that means you're holding yours too. It's nice. Knowing you're thinking about me. No one ever thinks about me usually. Or they do, but not in a good way. I'll write you again soon. Maybe tomorrow. Is it weird to write every day? I don't know the rules for having a friend. You'll have to tell me if I'm doing it wrong. Your friend, Harry. P.S. I hope the Raxperts avoid your house. The nice kind of avoiding. Not the mean kind. He folded the letter carefully and addressed an envelope. Tomorrow he'd figure out how to post it without the Dursleys knowing. But for now, he held his coin and felt it warm in response. 3 years. He could do this. The days fell into a rhythm. Harry woke early, did his chores, and then retreated to his cupboard. Rode to study the magic book Pandora had given him. The theory was complex, but he read each page multiple times until it made sense. Control techniques. How to channel magic through intention. The importance of emotional regulation. He practiced the exercises when the Dursleys were out. Small things. Making a pencil roll across the floor. Levitating a piece of paper. The magic responded to him more easily now that he understood it wasn't freakish. It was natural. Every evening he wrote to Luna. Long rambling letters about what he'd learned, questions about magic, stories about the Dursleys, awfulness. He'd found a postbox 3 streets over and walked there every few days to send his letters. Luna wrote back just as frequently. Her letters were chaotic and wonderful. She'd jump between topics without warning. Include sketches of creatures she'd seen, press flowers between the pages. Sometimes she'd write about her mum's research. Sometimes about books she was reading. Sometimes just about her day. Harry kept every letter in a box under a loose floorboard in his cupboard. Reading them made the walls feel less close. 2 weeks after returning from Cornwall, he got a letter that was different. Dear Harry, something strange happened today. A man was watching our house. Mum noticed him first. He was standing at the end of our lane just staring. When Dad went to talk to him, he left. But he didn't walk. He just vanished. Like apparition but quieter. Mum says it's probably nothing. But she's worried. She's been checking the wards around our property every day. Dad thinks we should report it to the ministry, but Mum says that would draw more attention. I think it might have something to do with us. With our resonance. Mum said people would be interested. Maybe this man is one of them. Be careful, Harry. If someone's watching us, they might watch you too. Tell me if you notice anyone strange around your neighborhood. Your friend who is definitely not imagining things even though Dad says I might be, Luna. Harry read the letter 3 times. His coin sat on the shelf above his makeshift bed. He grabbed it and held it tight, trying to send reassurance through the connection. The coin warmed in response. He looked out through the small window of his cupboard. The street was empty, normal, but he made a mental note to pay attention from now on. Luna might be eccentric, but she wasn't stupid. If she said someone was watching, he believed her. Summer turned to autumn. The leaves changed and the air got colder. Dudley went back to Smeltings and Harry started another year at the local state school. The teachers mostly ignored him and the other students avoided him, which was fine. He had Luna's letters and the magic book and his secret knowledge that he wasn't a freak. He was a wizard. The coin became his most precious possession. He kept it in his pocket during the day and under his pillow at night. Sometimes it would warm up randomly and he'd know Luna was thinking about him. Sometimes he'd hold it deliberately, sending warmth back to her. In October, Luna sent a letter with a pressed leaf inside. Dear Harry, I've been thinking about what Mum said. About our resonance. I looked it up in Dad's library. Did you know bonded pairs can sometimes sense each other's emotions? Not read thoughts exactly, but feel what the other person feels. I think I can feel you sometimes. When you're really sad or really scared. It's like a cold spot in my chest. And yesterday when you wrote about getting top marks on that maths test, I felt warm and proud, and I think that was you too. Have you felt me? Mum says it gets stronger as we grow. By the time we're at Hogwarts, we might be able to communicate without letters at all. Just through the bond. Isn't that brilliant? We'll never really be alone. Even when we're apart. Your friend who is definitely not making this up, Luna. Harry sat in his cupboard thinking about this. Now that Luna mentioned it, had been feeling strange things sometimes. Sudden flashes of curiosity that weren't his own. Moments of sadness that came from nowhere. A persistent sense of someone else's presence at the edge of his awareness. He'd thought he was imagining it. But if Luna felt it too? He held his coin and concentrated. Tried to push a feeling through it. Something simple. Happiness. Gratitude. 3 days later, Luna's next letter arrived. I felt it. The happiness. You sent it through the coin, didn't you? That's brilliant, Harry. We're getting stronger. From then on, they practiced. Harry would send emotions through the coin at specific times. Luna would write back confirming what she'd felt. They weren't always accurate, but they were getting better. The bond was real, growing, changing them both. November came with cold rain and shorter days. Vernon was promoted at work and became even more insufferable. Dudley got a new game console and spent hours glued to it. Petunia joined some kind of neighborhood watch committee and was gone more often. Harry was left alone more, which suited him fine. He practiced magic in his cupboard with the door locked. Simple spells from Luna's book. Levitation, minor transfiguration, summoning. His control was getting better. One evening he received a panicked letter from Luna. Harry, something happened. Mum was working in her lab and an experiment went wrong. There was an explosion. She's okay but she was hurt. Burns on her hands and arms. The healers said she'll recover fully but she needs rest. I'm so scared. What if next time is worse? What if I lose her like you lost your parents? I can't stop thinking about it. I'm trying to be brave like she'd want but I'm not brave. I'm just scared. Can you feel this? Through the bond. Because I can feel you trying to comfort me and it helps. It helps so much. Thank you for being there even when you can't really be here. Your terrified friend, Luna. Harry held his coin so tightly his knuckles went white. He pushed every bit of comfort and strength he could through the connection. Luna was the bravest person he knew. If she was scared, he needed to be strong enough for both of them. He wrote back immediately. Luna, your mum is going to be fine. You said the healers confirmed it. Hold on to that. I know you're scared. I'd be scared too. But you're not alone. You have your dad and you have me. Even if I'm just in a cupboard in Surrey. I'm here. Always. You are brave. You're the bravest person I know. You told me about magic when you could have stayed quiet. You shared your research cave and your books and your mum with me. You write to me every week even though I'm probably the weirdest pen friend ever. That takes courage, so feel scared if you need to. But know that I believe in you. And I'm holding my coin right now. Can you feel me? I'm sending you all the strength I have. Your friend who will never leave you alone, Harry. He sent the letter express post, paying with money he'd secretly taken from Dudley's piggy bank. 3 days later, Luna's response came. Mum's much better. The burns are healing well. And I felt you. Through the coin. Through the bond. You felt like a thunderstorm again but in a good way. Powerful and protective. Thank you. I think I love you. Not in a weird way. In a friend way. In a soul-bonded magical resonance way. Is that strange to say? Dad s. Ays I'm always too honest about my feelings but Mum says honesty is important. So I'm being honest. You're my best friend, Harry. My only real friend. Thank you for existing. Your friend who definite. Ely loves you in a totally appropriate way, Luna. Harry read that letter so many times the paper started to wear thin. No one had ever said they loved him before. Even in a friend way. Even in a soul-bonded magical resonance way. He wrote back, I love you too. In a friend way. In a we're connected by magic way. You're my best friend too. My only real friend. Thank you for existing back at me. After that, their letters got more honest. Luna wrote about missing her mum when Pandora was traveling for research. About kids at school calling her strange. About feeling different and not minding but also minding sometimes. Harry wrote about the Dursleys, cruelty. About feeling unwanted. About the weird things he could do that he'd always been punished for. About being afraid he was actually as freakish as Vernon said. They wrote about their dreams for Hogwarts. The friends they'd make. The magic they'd learn. Being together again. The bond grew stronger. By December, Harry could sense Luna's presence like a warm spot in his mind. Not thoughts exactly. Just awareness. Knowing she was there. Christmas came. The Dursleys gave Harry a toothpick and a note saying, be grateful. Luna sent him a package containing homemade biscuits shaped like magical creatures, a new book on defensive magic theory, and a scarf she'd knitted herself. It was lumpy and the colors clashed but Harry loved it. He'd saved up money from doing extra chores in the neighborhood and sent Luna a necklace with a small glass pendant. Inside the glass, he'd carefully placed a grain of sand from Cornwall Beach. Luna W. Wrote back that she'd cried when she opened it. Winter passed. Spring came. The year turned and suddenly it was summer again. 1 year since they'd met. Harry was 9 now. Luna was 8. Their letters had become longer, more detailed. The coin was warm more often than not. The bond hummed between them constantly. In July, Luna sent a letter that changed everything. Harry, the man is back. The one who was watching our house last year. But this time Mum caught him. She used a stunning spell and Dad called the Aurors. They took him away for questioning. His name is Erasmus Vaith. He's a researcher. Studies magical bonds and resonances. He's been tracking us since Cornwall. He knows about our bond, Harry. He knows we're connected. Mum is furious. She says Vaith is dangerous. That he's been trying to study bonded pairs for years, but the ministry banned his research. Something about ethical violations. He was trying to observe us without permission. The Aurors said they'd monitor the situation, but they can't arrest him for watching. Not unless he actually does something harmful. So he's still out there. Mum wants to put protective charms on our correspondence. Make sure Vaith can't intercept our letters. Dad agrees. Would that be okay? The charms won't change anything except make the letters safer. I'm not scared. Well, I am scared, but I'm trying not to be. Mum says as long as we're careful, we'll be fine. And we have 2 more years until Hogwarts. Then we'll be protected by the school's wards. Your friend who was being very brave about creepy researchers, Luna. Harry's hands shook as he read. Someone was watching them, studying them. This Vaith person knew about their bond and wanted to use them somehow. He wrote back immediately agreeing to the protective charms. Whatever kept Luna safe. But he also started being more careful. Watching for strange people around Privet Drive. Practicing defensive spells from the book Luna had given him. Building his magic stronger. 2 years until Hogwarts. 2 years until he could be with Luna again and they'd be protected by powerful wizards. He could survive 2 more years. He had to. The rest of that summer was tense. Luna's letters came with new magical seals on them that tingled when Harry touched them. She said the protective charms were working. No one could read their correspondence except them. Pandora had increased the wards around their house. Xenophilius had filed complaints with the ministry. But Erasmus Vaith had vanished. The Aurors couldn't find him. That somehow made it worse. Harry practiced magic more seriously now. Not just levitation and simple transfiguration. He studied defensive spells, shield charms, basic hex deflection. The book Pandora had given him had sections on magical self-defense and Harry memorized every page. If Vaith came for him, he'd be ready. Luna was doing the same. She wrote about her own training, how Pandora was teaching her more advanced magic than most her age would learn. How to sense magical signatures. How to detect tracking charms. How to shield her mind. They were 9 and 8 years old, learning magic most kids wouldn't see until Hogwarts. But they weren't most kids. They were bonded, and someone was hunting them for it. The coin became a lifeline. Harry held it every night before sleep, feeling Luna's presence on the other end. Knowing she was safe. Knowing they were both still here. Summer ended. Another school year started. Harry was better at hiding his magic now. Better at pretending to be normal. But under that normalcy, he was building something. Power, knowledge, control. When he finally got to Hogwarts, he wouldn't be helpless. He'd be ready for whatever came. Luna turned 9 that winter. Harry sent her a book on advanced magizoology he'd found in a second-hand bookshop. Luna sent him a magical compass that always pointed toward her location. When Harry held it, the needle turned southwest. Toward Luna's house. Toward safety. Their bond continued to grow. By the time Harry turned 10, they could communicate through emotions with startling clarity. Luna's joy felt like wind chimes in his mind. Harry's determination felt like thunder in hers. They practiced pushing more complex feelings through the bond. Memories. Images. Eventually, brief thoughts. Are you there? Harry would think while holding his coin. Always, Luna's thought would come back. Slightly distorted but recognizable. They were developing something rare and powerful. Harry knew that now. Pandora's letters, she sometimes added notes to Luna's letters, confirmed it. Most bonded pairs took years to develop basic emotional resonance. Harry and Luna had blown past that in under 2 years. Their connection was extraordinary. Which made them valuable? Which made them targets? In March of Harry's 10th year, Vernon came home raging about freaks, and weirdos, and people asking questions. Apparently someone had come to his workplace asking about Harry, about his family, about any unusual incidents. Vernon had denied everything and thrown the person out. But he blamed Harry for it. Harry spent 3 days locked in his cupboard with minimal food. He held his coin and felt Luna's worry coming through the bond. She knew something was wrong. When Vernon finally let him out, Harry found a letter waiting in his hiding spot. Harry, I felt something bad through the bond. Are you all right? Did your relatives hurt you? Dad says if they're abusing you, we can report them. There are magical authorities who handle that. Please write back. I need to know you're safe. The coin is warm, but that just means you're alive, not that you're okay. Write back, please. Your extremely worried friend, Luna. Harry wrote back assuring her he was fine. It was only half true. But he couldn't risk magical authorities investigating the Dursleys. They might separate him and Luna permanently. Might interfere with him going to Hogwarts. He had to endure just a bit longer. That spring, something changed in the bond. It happened suddenly during one of Harry's practice sessions. He was attempting a shield charm, focusing his magic into a barrier, when the coin in his pocket flared hot. Luna's magic surged through the connection, joining with his. The shield charm exploded into a solid wall of light that filled his cupboard. It lasted 3 seconds before dissolving. Harry stared at his hands, heart pounding. They'd combined their magic, across hundreds of miles, through nothing but their bond. He wrote to Luna immediately. She confirmed she'd felt it too. Had been practicing the same charm at the same time. Their magic had reached for each other instinctively. Pandora's next letter was excited and concerned. Harry, what you and Luna accomplished is remarkable. Bonded pairs can share magic but rarely at your age and never at such distance. This confirms my theories about the strength of your connection. But it also confirms my worries. You need to be careful. If others discover you can combine magic at will, they'll want to study you. Control you. Use you. Keep this ability secret. Practice in private. Trust no one outside your immediate circle. 1 more year until Hogwarts. Once you're there, Dumbledore will protect you. The headmaster is powerful and wise. He'll understand what you are and help you manage it safely. Until then, be cautious. Be smart. And take care of my daughter. I trust you with her, Harry. Don't let me down. With faith in you both, Pandora Lovegood. Harry kept the letter and read it whenever he felt weak. Pandora trusted him. Luna trusted him. He wouldn't fail them. He practiced his magic every day now. Building strength. Building control. The bond made him more powerful, but it also made him responsible. Luna's safety depended partly on him being strong enough to protect them both. Summer came again. 2 years since their first meeting. Harry was 10. Luna was 9. Their Hogwarts letters would come in a year. 1 more year. Harry held his coin and felt Luna holding hers on the other end. 1 more year. He thought through the bond. 1 more year. Luna's thought came back. Then everything changes. Then everything changes. Harry agreed. The sun set over Little Whinging. The Dursleys shouted at each other downstairs. Harry's cupboard was dark and cramped and miserable. But he had magic. He had a bond. He had a friend who understood him. He had Luna, and that made everything bearable. He opened his magic book and began to read. There was still so much to learn. So much to prepare for. 1 more year. Then Hogwarts. Then freedom. Then a life where he wasn't alone anymore. Harry smiled in the darkness and felt Luna's happiness echo through the bond in response. They were going to be okay. Both of them. Together. Chapter 1 end. Chapter 2. Ink and Secrets. The postman thought Harry was weird. Not in a mean way. More in a confused, slightly concerned way. Because every week this scruffy kid would show up at the postbox 3 streets over from Privet Drive with letters addressed to someone named Luna Lovegood in Ottery Street, Catchpole, Devon. And every week, letters would arrive at number 4 with the same return address, which Harry would intercept before the Dursleys noticed. It had been 3 months since Cornwall and Harry's entire world had shifted. He woke up early every morning. Not because Vernon yelled at him but because he wanted to read. Magic theory, creature biology, Spell mechanics. Pandora's book sat hidden under his loose floorboard along with Luna's letters, and Harry devoured every word. The exercises in the book were getting easier. He could levitate objects consistently now. Could summon small things from across the room. Could even manage a weak shield charm when he really concentrated. But the best part wasn't the magic. It was Luna's letters. She wrote about everything. Her mum's latest research expedition to study moonkelves. Her dad's controversial article about crumple-horned snurcax. The garden gnomes infesting their vegetable patch. What she was reading. What she was thinking. Random observations about clouds or beetles or the way light reflected off puddles. Harry wrote back just as eagerly. Told her about his progress with magic. About books he'd found in the library about mythology that he now realized were probably about real magical creatures. About the Dursleys being awful. About feeling less alone now that he knew she existed. Their correspondence was the only good thing in his life. October arrived with cold rain. Harry was finishing a letter to Luna when Vernon burst into the kitchen where Harry was supposed to be doing dishes. "What are you writing?" Harry shoved the letter under the dish towel. "Nothing. Don't lie to me, boy. You're always scribbling in corners. Writing to someone. Who is it?" "Just a friend from school." "You don't have friends." Vernon grabbed the dish towel and yanked out the letter. His face went purple as he read. "What is this nonsense? Magic. Creatures. What kind of freakish?" The letter burst into flames in Vernon's hand. Vernon yelped and dropped it. The ashes scattered across the floor. Harry stared. He hadn't meant to do that. But he'd been so angry, so desperate to protect Luna's words, and the magic had just reacted. You. Vernon couldn't even form words. Hi's face was turning an alarming shade of red. "Petunia." Harry ran. He made it to his cupboard and locked the door from inside with a simple spell Luna had taught him through her letters. Vernon pounded on it but the lock held. Harry's hands were shaking. The coin in his pocket burned hot. He pulled it out and held it tight, trying to calm down. Trying to send reassurance through the bond even though he felt anything but reassured. The coin pulsed warm cold. Luna's pattern. Her way of asking if he was okay. Harry pulsed back. Warm cold. His pattern for, "I'm fine but not really." The pounding on the door continued. Vernon was shouting threats. Petunia was screeching about ungrateful freaks and dangerous magic. Harry closed his eyes and focused on the bond. On Luna's presence at the other end. On the fact that somewhere in Devon, his friend was holding her coin and thinking about him. It helped. Eventually the Dursleys gave up and left him alone. Harry heard Vernon on the phone with someone. Probably Aunt Marge, complaining about the boy's abnormality getting worse. Harry pulled out a fresh piece of paper and wrote quickly. "Luna, I messed up. Accidentally burned a letter in front of Vernon. He knows I'm writing to someone. I don't think he'll try to stop the letters but he's watching me more closely now. Might need to be more careful. Don't worry though, I'm fine. The lock spell you taught me works perfectly. Your friend who really needs to control his magic better, Harry." He'd mail it tomorrow when the Dursleys were distracted. The coin warmed again. Luna was still there, still checking on him. Harry smiled despite everything and sent warmth back. November brought the first snow. Harry turned 10 on July 31st but the Dursleys had ignored it completely, so he didn't feel any different. Just another day in the cupboard. Except Luna had sent him a package. She'd somehow charmed it to arrive exactly on his birthday. Harry found it hidden behind a loose brick outside the house. Exactly where her letter said it would be. Inside was a small cake in a tin, slightly squashed but still good, a book on advanced defensive magic, and a letter. "Harry, happy birthday. You're 10. That's practically ancient. I made the cake myself." "Well, Mum helped." "Okay. Mum made it and I decorated it. But I chose the flavor. Chocolate with buttercream icing because you mentioned once that you'd never had a proper birthday cake and that's just wrong. Everyone deserves cake. Inside the icing I put a small charm. When you eat a piece, you'll feel warm and happy for a whole hour. Mum says it's perfectly safe. She uses similar charms on calming drafts. The book is from both of us. Mum thought you were ready for more advanced material. There's a section on Ment Al shields that's particularly important. We've been working on them here. You should too. Your friend who spent 3 hours decorating a cake and is quite proud of herself, Luna. P.S. I'm enclosing a photo. Mum took it. That's me next to the cake before we packaged it. I wanted you to see what I look like now. I lost a tooth and my hair is longer. Harry stared at the photo. It showed Luna grin, ning gap-toothed next to a slightly lopsided chocolate cake. She'd grown, still had those same big gray eyes, but her face had lost some of its baby roundness. She looked happy. Harry didn't have any photos of himself to send back. The Dursleys kept all the family photos locked away and he'd never been in any of them anyway. But he ate a piece of cake in his cupboard that night and felt warmth spree. Add through him that had nothing to do with magic. Someone had baked him a birthday cake. Someone remembered he existed. He held his coin and pushed gratitude through the bond as hard as he could. Luna's happiness came rushing back so strong it made him dizzy. December came with news that changed everything. Luna's letter arrived with shaky handwriting. Harry, something happened. Mum was in her lab working with a new specimen. She'd found this creature she thought might be a crumple-horned snurkak juvenile. She was so excited, but it wasn't a snurkak. It was something else, something dangerous that shouldn't have been there. It attacked her. The lab exploded. There was fire and noise and Dad and I ran in, but it was too late. She's hurt, Harry, really badly hurt. Burns on 70% of her body. The healers at St. Mungo's are trying everything, but they say, I can't write it. I can't make it real by writing it. She has to be okay. She has to be. Your friend who was trying very hard not to fall apart, Luna. Harry's hands went numb. The coin in his pocket wasn't just warm anymore. It was hot, burning hot with Luna's pain and fear. He could feel her through the bond. The terror, the grief, the desperate hope that maybe the healers would find a way. Harry grabbed a piece of paper and wrote as fast as he could. Luna, I'm here. I know you can feel me through the bond. Hold on to that. Your mum is strong and the healers are the best in the magical world. They'll save her. They have to. I'm sending you everything I have. All my strength. All my hope. Take it. Use it. Don't let go. I'm right here with you even though I'm not there. You're not alone. You'll never be alone. I swear it. Your friend who won't let you fall, Harry. He sent the letter express. Paid extra for same-day delivery even though it cost him all the money he'd saved. Then he sat in his cupboard holding the coin with both hands and pushed everything he had through the bond. Strength, courage, love, hope, every positive emotion he could muster. The coin burned in his palms but he didn't let go. Luna needed him. He'd be there, even if they're meant across hundreds of miles of distance throw. Nothing but a magical connection and sheer force of will. He fell asleep that way. Exhausted, still clutching the coin, he dreamed of Luna crying in a hospital corridor, of Xenophilius's face gray with shock, of Pandora Lovegood lying in a bed wrapped in bandages. He woke up gasping. The coin was cold. Harry's heart stopped. The coin had never been cold before. Not once in all these months. He grabbed it with shaking hands and held it as tight as he could. Tried to send warmth through it. Tried to feel Luna on the other end. Nothing. The bond was still there. He could sense it like a thin thread in his mind. But it felt muffled, distant, like Luna had pulled away from it. Harry got dressed and ran to the postbox. There was a letter waiting there already, having arrived sometime in the night. Luna's handwriting. He tore it open. She's gone. Mum died 3 hours ago. The burns were too severe. The damage too extensive. They tried everything but nothing worked. She's gone and I can't breathe and everything hurts and I can feel you trying to help through the bond but I can't handle it right now. I'm sorry. I need to be numb for a while. I'm pulling back from the bond. Just for a bit. Just until I can function again. Don't take it personally. I can't. Your friend who doesn't know how to be a person anymore, Luna. Harry stood in the street reading that letter over and over until the words blurred. Pandora was dead. Luna's mum. The woman who'd been so kind to him. Who'd given him books and knowledge and hope. Who'd understood what he and Luna were and supported them. Gone. And Luna had pulled away from the bond because his attempts to help were too much for her to handle. Harry walked back to Privet Drive in a daze. Vernon yelled at him for being out without permission but Harry barely heard him. He went to his cupboard and sat on his thin mattress and stared at the wall. The coin sat cold and lifeless in his hand. Luna was grieving and alone and he couldn't reach her. Harry had never felt so helpless in his life. He wrote to her every day anyway. Short letters. Nothing demanding. Just letting her know he was there. Luna, I'm here whenever you're ready. Take all the time you need. Your friend, Harry. Luna, I'm thinking about you. Your friend, Harry. Luna, the bond is still there. I can feel it. You're not alone even if you feel alone. Your friend, Harry. He didn't know if she was reading them. The coin stayed cold, but he kept writing. 2 weeks passed, then 3, then 4. Christmas came and went. The Dursleys gave Harry nothing as usual. He didn't send Luna a present because he didn't know if it would be welcome. January arrived with bitter cold and ice on the windows. Harry was practicing a shield charm in his cupboard when the coin suddenly flared warm. He dropped it in surprise. It rolled across the floor, still radiating heat. Luna was back. Harry grabbed the coin and held it tight. Pushed gentle warmth through it. Asked without words, "Are you okay?" Luna's response came back weak but there. "No. But I will be, eventually." Harry sagged in relief. She was still there. Still Luna. Just hurt. Her letter arrived the next day. "Harry, I'm sorry I pushed you away. I wasn't strong enough to handle my own grief plus your attempts to help. It was all too much. But I'm doing better now. Well, not better, but functional. Dad and I are figuring out how to exist without her. It's hard. Everything reminds me of her. Her research notes. Her books. The way the house smells. Her favorite mug. I keep forgetting she's gone and then remembering and it hurts all over again. But I can feel the bond again now. Your presence helps. I missed it. I missed you. Sorry for shutting you out. Your friend who is learning to live with holes in her heart, Luna." Harry wrote back immediately. "You never have to apologize for that. Grief is hard and everyone handles it differently. I'm just glad you're back. Glad I can feel you again. The bow. ND was so quiet without you and I hated it. I'm here now. For whatever you need. Even if what you need is just silence. Your friend who really missed you too, Harry." Their correspondence resumed but it was different now. Luna's letters were quieter. More introspective. She wrote about missing her mum. About memories. About the research Pandora had left unfinished. Harry wrote back about the things he'd never told anyone. The cupboard. The hunger. The way Vernon's fists felt. The constant sense of wrongness that pervaded his life. They were sharing their pain now. Not just their joy. And somehow that made the bond stronger. The coin was warm almost constantly. Both of them holding their halves. Drawing comfort from the connection. By February, Luna's letters started including her usual tangents again. Observations about frost patterns. Theories about invisible creatures. Stories about her dad's increasingly wild articles in the Quibbler. She was healing. Slowly. But healing. Harry felt it through the bond too. The sharp edges of her grief softening into something she could carry instead of something that crushed her. He was proud of her. Told her so. Luna wrote back. "Mum would have liked knowing you think that. She always said you were special. That our bond was special. I think she'd want me to keep living. To finish her research someday. To be happy. So I'm trying. Your furry. ND who is really quite stubborn when she wants to be, Luna." Spring came late that year. Harry turned 11 in July but it felt anticlimactic. One more year until Hogwarts. One more year trapped with the Dursleys. But his magic was stronger now. He could perform most of the spells in Pandora's book without thinking about it. Shield charms. Summoning. Basic transfiguration. Minor hexes. Luna's magic was growing too. She wrote about training with her dad now that Pandora was gone. Xenophilius wasn't as skilled as his wife had been but he knew enough to keep Luna's education going. They practiced together through the bond sometimes. Harry would attempt a spell in his cupboard while Luna attempted the same spell in her room. Their magic would reach for each other across the distance, combining, amplifying. It was getting easier, more natural, like their magic wanted to be together as much as they did. In August, something else changed. Harry was lying on his mattress reading when the coin started pulsing erratically. Not Luna's usual pattern, something urgent and scared. Harry sat up. What's wrong? Luna's panic flooded the bond. Images came through, distorted and fragmentary. A broken window. Papers scattered everywhere. Her dad shouting. Someone running. Their house had been broken into. Harry tried to send calm through the bond, but his own panic was rising. Was Luna hurt? Was Xenophilius okay? The coin's pulsing slowed. Luna was regaining control. Then her thought came through, clearer than ever before. Someone broke in. Took Mum's research notes. The important ones. About resonant bonds. About us. Harry's blood went cold. Vaith. Probably. Dad's calling the Aurors. We're okay. Just scared. I'm here. I'm with you. I know. I can feel you. It helps. The letter arrived 2 days later with more details. Harry, someone broke into our house while Dad and I were in the village. They knew exactly what they wanted. Mum's private research notes about magical bonds. About resonant pairs. About us specifically. She'd been documenting our connection since Cornwall. All of it's gone. The Aurors say it was a professional job. No magical signature left behind. No witnesses. They think it was Erasmus Vaith, but they can't prove it. He's still vanished. No one's seen him since last year. But who else would want Mum's research? Dad is devastated. Those notes were the last thing Mum left behind, and now they're gone. And whoever took them knows everything about us. What we can do. How strong our bond is. How it's growing. We're not safe, Harry. Neither of us. You're F. Riend, who was suddenly very aware of being watched. Luna. Harry read that letter 5 times. Then he hid it with the others and started planning. Vaith had their research. Knew exactly what they were capable of. Knew they were getting stronger. If he was going to make a move, he'd do it soon. Before they got to Hogwarts, where Dumbledore could protect them. Harry needed to be ready. He doubled his practice sessions. Learned every defensive spell in his books. Started reading about dark magic, not to use it, but to defend against it. Luna was doing the same. Her letters described hours of training with Xenophilius. Learning shields and hexes and counter curses. They were 11 and 9, preparing for war. The bond between them thrummed with shared determination. Whatever Vaith was planning, they'd face it together. The summer heat was oppressive. Harry spent most of his time in his cupboard avoiding the Dursleys and practicing magic. He'd gotten good at silent casting. At wandless magic. His control was precise now. Luna wrote that she was the same. That her magic was responding more easily. That the bond made everything stronger. They were more powerful than most adult wizards realized. Harry knew that, could feel it thrumming in his core. The combination of his raw strength and Luna's precise control, amplified by their resonance, created something formidable. But it also made them targets. In late August, Harry was picking up groceries for Petunia when he noticed someone following him. A man, tall and thin with gray hair and sharp features. He stayed half a block back his attention never wavered from Harry. Harry's heart raced. He ducked into an alley and the man followed. Harry spun around, his hand going to where a wand would be if he had one. Who are you? The man smiled. It didn't reach his eyes. Harry Potter. I've been looking forward to meeting you. Vaith. Very good. Luna mentioned you were intelligent. She wasn't wrong. Vaith stepped closer. Don't be afraid. I'm not here to hurt you. Quote. Then what do you want? To talk. To explain. You and Luna are special, Harry. More special than you realize. The bond you share is one of the strongest I've documented in 50 years of research. It deserves to be studied. Understood. Celebrated. You stole Luna's mum's research. I borrowed it. There's a difference. Pandora was brilliant, but she wasn't asking the right questions. She was focused on how your bond works. I'm interested in what it could become. Vaith pulled out a small device similar to the one Pandora had used. With proper training, you two could accomplish extraordinary things. Break through magical barriers. Access ancient magic. Perhaps even achieve immortality through shared life force. We're not interested. You say that now, but wait until you're older. Until you realize the limitations the magical world will try to place on you. Dumbledore will want to control your bond. The Ministry will want to regulate it. Eve, Rione will have opinions about what you should or shouldn't do with your connection. Vaith's eyes gleamed. I could teach you to resist that. To use your bond to its full potential. To be truly free. Harry's magic was building under his skin. Responding to his fear and anger. Leave us alone. I can't do that. You're too valuable. Too important. Vaith raised his device. I need more readings. Just a quick scan. Harry's magic exploded outward in a shield that threw Vaith back into the alley wall. The man slumped down, unconscious. Harry ran. His hands were shaking, his heart pounding. He'd never hurt someone before. Not deliberately, but Vaith had been threatening him. Threatening Luna through him. He made it back to Privet Drive and locked himself in his cupboard. Grabbed the coin and held it tight. Luna responded immediately, her concern flooding through. Harry sent back what had happened in fragmented images. Vaith, the conversation, the attack, his defensive response. Luna's "Ought" came through clear and fierce. You protected yourself. Protected us both. That's good. That's right. Don't feel guilty. He wants to study us. Use us. He can't. We won't let him. One more year and we're at Hogwarts. He can't reach us there. Are you sure? Dumbledore is the most powerful wizard alive. If anyone can protect us, it's him. We just have to survive until then. Harry wanted to believe her. He held the coin and let Luna's confidence flow through the bond. Let it steady him. One more year. They could do this. September came. Dudley went off to Smeltings with a new uniform and a swagger. Harry started his last year at primary school. The teachers ignored him as usual and he didn't mind. He had bigger things to focus on. Like preparing for Hogwarts. Like watching for Vaith. Like staying alive long enough to get there. Luna's letters were full of excitement now. Her Hogwarts letter would arrive next summer. She was already planning what she'd need. What books to bring. What she wanted to learn first. Harry shared her enthusiasm but couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The bond felt weird sometimes. Like someone was watching them through it. Testing it. Poking at it. He mentioned it to Luna and she confirmed she felt it too. I think Vaith is using Mum's research to try to track us through the bond. He can't read our thoughts or anything, but he can sense when we're using it. When our magic combines. Dad's trying to find a way to shield it but it's complicated. The bond isn't something external you can just block. It's part of us. You're Fry, and who was getting increasingly paranoid, Luna. Harry understood completely. He was paranoid too. Every stranger on the street could be Vaith. Every strange occurrence could be his doing. The Dursleys noticed Harry's tension and blamed it on freakishness. Vernon threatened to send him to an asylum. Petunia just looked worried. Harry ignored them and focused on his magic. On staying strong. On being ready. October brought cold rain and shorter days. Harry was walking home from school when 3 boys from Dudley's gang cornered him in an alley. Heard you're a freak, Potter, the leader sneered. Dudley says you do weird stuff. Says you're not normal. Harry tried to walk past them but they blocked his way. Show us something freaky, another one demanded. Make something happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Liar. The leader shoved Harry against the wall. Do something weird or we'll make you. Harry's magic was already rising. He could feel it building. Could feel Luna's concern through the bond. She'd sensed his fear. The boys moved closer and Harry's control snapped. All 3 of them rose into the air, held there by invisible force. Their eyes went wide with terror. Leave me alone, Harry said quietly. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't even think about me. Or next time I'll do something worse. He released them and they fell hard. Scrambled to their feet and ran. Harry leaned against the wall, breathing hard. His magic was still crackling under his skin. Demanding release. The coin was burning hot. Luna had felt all of it. Her thought came through proud and fierce. Good. They deserved it. Harry smiled despite his shaking hands. Luna understood him in ways no one else could. She knew why he'd done it. Didn't judge him for using magic on Muggles. They were beyond the normal rules now. Too powerful. Too connected. Too hunted. They made their own rules. November brought the first snow and Luna's letters were full of excitement. Her birthday was approaching. She'd be 10. One step closer to Hogwarts. Harry sent her a package with books and a new notebook for her creature observations. Luna sent back a drawing she'd done of the 2 of them standing together. Magical auras visible around them, connected by threads of light. This is what I see when I think about us, she wrote. Separate but joined. Individual but connected. I can. Wait until we're actually together again. Your friend who was counting down days, Luna. Harry pinned the drawing to the wall of his cupboard where he could see it every night. It made the space feel less claustrophobic. Made the waiting feel more bearable. December came with bitter cold. 3 years since Pandora's death. Luna's letter that month was sad but not devastating. I miss Mum. Every day. But it doesn't hurt the same way anymore. Now it's more like a dull ache than a sharp pain. Like a bruise that's healing. Dad says that's normal. That grief changes but doesn't disappear. I think Mum would be proud of who I'm becoming. She'd be proud of both of us. Proud of how we've grown. How we've stayed connected despite everything. Your friend who carries her mother's memory like a lantern, Luna. Harry wrote back about his own feelings. About the parents he'd never known. About wondering what they'd been like. What they'd think of him now. Luna responded with theories based on magical genetics and personality inheritance. It was exactly what Harry needed. Not empty comfort but real thoughts. Real possibilities. They understood each other in a way that went beyond normal friendship. The bond connected them, yes. But more than that, they'd chosen each other. Kept choosing each other every day. January brought the year Harry would turn 11. Would get his Hogwarts letter. Would finally escape the Dursleys. The excitement was almost unbearable. Luna's letters were full of advice. What to expect. What to look forward to. What supplies he'd need. How the sorting worked. What the houses were like. She'd learned all of it from her dad and from reading everything she could find about Hogwarts. She was more prepared than most students who grew up in magical families. And she was sharing all of it with Harry so he'd be prepared too. You'll probably be in Gryffindor. You're brave and protective and you have that hero complex that all Gryffindors have. I'll probably be in Ravenclaw. I like learning and I'm curious about everything. But it doesn't matter what houses we're in. We'll still be connected. Still be friends. Still be us. Your friend who has already planned how we'll meet between classes, Luna. Harry loved her confidence. Her certainty that nothing would separate them. He felt the same way. The bond between them was permanent now. Unbreakable. Distance didn't matter. Houses wouldn't matter. They were connected for life. In February, Vernon announced they'd be having a guest for dinner. Some business associate from Japan. Harry was expected to stay in his cupboard and not make a sound. Harry was fine with that arrangement. But during dinner, he heard voices raised in the living room. Vernon entertaining his guest. Then footsteps approaching his cupboard door. And this is our storage cupboard, Vernon was saying nervously. The door opened. A man in an expensive suit looked down at Harry with obvious surprise. This is a child's bedroom. Vernon's face went purple. He prefers it. The boy's strange. Likes small spaces. The man frowned. This seems. Harry. Vernon barked. Tell Mr. Tanaka you prefer living here. Harry looked at Vernon. At the guest. At the opportunity presenting itself. Actually, Harry said clearly, I hate it here. They abuse me. Starve me. Beat me when I do things they consider freakish. I'd leave if I had anywhere else to go. Vernon's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Mr. Tanaka's expression darkened. Mr. Dursley, I think we need to discuss. Vernon slammed the door shut. The boy lies. He's disturbed. You can't believe. Harry heard them arguing. Heard Mr. Tanaka saying something about authorities. Heard Vernon's increasingly desperate explanations. Then silence. Harry held his breath. The door opened again. Mr. Tanaka alone this time. He looked at Harry with something like pity. Are you all right? I'm fine. Used to it. That's not acceptable. I'm going to. Please don't. Harry interrupted. I know it looks bad but I only have a few more months here. Then I go away to school. If you report them, I might end up somewhere worse. Or they might prevent me from going to school. Just leave it, please. Mr. Tanaka clearly didn't want to. But something in Harry's expression must have convinced him. If you need help, I have help. I have friends. I'll be okay. Harry held up his coin. See, someone's always thinking about me. I'm not as alone as I look. Mr. Tanaka left looking troubled. Vernon didn't speak to Harry for a week, which was actually a blessing. But more importantly, Harry realized something. He wasn't helpless anymore. He could fight back, could expose them, could make them afraid of him instead of the other way around. The power shift was subtle but real. And Harry liked it. March arrived with news that changed everything. Luna's letter came with different handwriting on the envelope. Xenophilius's. Harry's heart dropped. He tore it open. Harry, this is Luna's father. I'm writing to inform you that Luna is fine, but there was an incident. Erasmus Vaith attempted to kidnap her from our garden yesterday. She fought him off, quite impressively using the defensive magic she's been learning, and I arrived in time to chase him away. The Aurors are now taking the threat seriously. They've placed protective wards around our property and assigned someone to check on us regularly. Luna wanted to write to you herself, but I insisted she rest. She's shaken but unharmed. I thought you should know. Your bond likely alerted you to her distress anyway. Be careful, Harry. If Vaith tried to take Luna, he may try for you as well. Xenophilius Lovegood. Harry's hands were shaking so hard he could barely read. The coin in his pocket was burning hot. He grabbed it and pushed everything through the bond. Are you okay? Luna, answer me. Are you there? Luna's response was immediate and fierce. I'm here. I'm fine. I hit him with a stunning spell and a knockback jinx. He didn't expect me to fight. Dad showed up before he could recover. We're okay. I'm coming to you. No, you're not. You're staying in Surrey where there are wards on your house you don't even know about. Dumbledore set them up apparently. Dad found out when he contacted the ministry. You're safer there than traveling. I don't care about safe. Vaith tried to kidnap you. And I stopped him. I'm not helpless, Harry. Neither are you. We're strong. Together we're stronger. But running to each other now would be exactly what Vaith wants. We stay where we are. We wait. Just a few more months and we're at Hogwarts. Harry wanted to argue, but Luna was right. Running would be stupid, emotional instead of strategic. So he stayed. But he didn't sleep that night. Just held the coin and felt Luna's presence on the other end. Reassuring himself she was still there. She held hers all night too. He could feel it, both of them maintaining the connection. Refusing to let go. April brought warmer weather and rising tension. Vaith had gone underground again after failing to take Luna. But the Aurors warned he'd try again. He was obsessed with their bond. With the power it represented. Harry practiced his magic obsessively now. Every spare moment. Every spell he knew and some he was inventing through sheer desperation and instinct. Luna did the same. Their bond crackled with shared magi. See as they pushed themselves harder and harder. They were preparing for war at 11 and 10 years old. The coin was warm almost constantly. Both of them holding their halves. Drawing strength from each other. Building their defenses together. In May, something remarkable happened. Harry was practicing a shield charm in his cupboard when Luna apparently attempted the same spell in Devon. Their IC reached across the distance and combined. But this time it didn't just amplify. It evolved. A shield appeared in Harry's cupboard that was visible. Shimmering silver blue. Solid as a wall. Through the bond, Harry could see Luna's room. Could see her staring at an identical shield on her end. They'd created a portal. A brief connection through space maintained by their combined magic. Harry reacted, head out, and his hand passed through the shield into Luna's room. Luna grabbed his hand, her eyes huge. They stared at each other across the impossible distance. Connected by magic and will and 3Y. Years of friendship that refused to break. Then the portal collapsed and they were back in their separate spaces. But they'd done it. Connected physically across hundreds of miles. Something that shouldn't have been possible. Luna's letter arrived the next day. Did that really happen? Please tell me that really happened and I didn't imagine it. Your friend who was still staring at her hand where you touched it, Luna. Harry wrote back. It happened. We created a portal. I touched you. You touched me. We're stronger than anyone knows. Your friend who can't stop smiling, Harry. They tried to recreate it but couldn't. Whatever conditions had been right that first time weren't aligning again. But they'd done it once. Which meant they could do it again eventually. The bond was evolving, growing, becoming something unprecedented, and that made them more valuable, more hunted, more dangerous to themselves and anyone interested in exploiting them. June arrived with heat and anticipation. Harry's birthday was approaching, his 11th birthday. The age magical children received their Hogwarts letters. Luna's letters were full of excitement. She described the letter's arrival. The thick envelope, the wax seal, the list of supplies, the permission forms. Harry dreamed about his own letter arriving. About Vernon's reaction. About finally having proof that magic was real and he was going somewhere the Dursleys couldn't follow. July 31st came. Harry woke up in his cupboard and held his breath. Listened for the mail slot. For the sound of letters hitting the floor. Nothing. He waited an hour. Then 2. Then all day. No letter came. Harry's heart sank. Had they forgotten him? Did Hogwarts not want him? Had the magical world decided he wasn't worth teaching? The coin was cold. Luna had pulled back from the bond, probably sensing his disappointment and not wanting to intrude. That night, Harry lay awake feeling more hopeless than he had in years. Magic was real, he knew that, but maybe he wasn't magical enough. Maybe. Glass shattered upstairs. Harry jolted up, heard Vernon shouting, heard Petunia screaming, heard Dudley crying. He crept out of his cupboard and peered up the stairs. The living room window was broken. Something was inside. No, dozens of somethings. Letters, flying through the air like birds, swooping around Vernon as he tried to swat them away. Harry's Hogwarts letters. One of them broke away from the swarm and dove down the stairs. It landed in Harry's hands. Heavy parchment, emerald ink, wax seal with a coat of arms showing a lion, a badger, an eagle, and a snake. Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs, 4 Privet Drive, Little Whinging, Surrey. Harry's hands shook as he broke the seal and pulled out the letter. Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Headmaster. Albus Dumbledore, Order of Merlin, First Class, Grand Sorc, CHF. Warlock, Supreme Mugwump, International Confed of Wizards. Dear Mr. Potter, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Harry read the whole thing twice. Then 3 times. Then he hugged it to his chest and laughed. He was going to Hogwarts. He was escaping. He was free. The coin in his pocket flared hot. Luna had felt his joy through the bond. He grabbed it and sent back pure happiness. Pure triumph. Pure relief. Luna's response was immediate. You got your letter. I got my letter. We're going to Hogwarts. We're going to Hogwarts together. The bond sang between them. 3 years of waiting. 3 years of preparing. 3 years of surviving. And now they'd made it. Vernon was still shouting upstairs, but Harry didn't care. He locked himself in his cupboard and read his letter again. And again. And again. Until he had every word memorized. Until the reality of it sank in fully. He was Harry Potter. He was a wizard. And he was going home. Chapter 2 end. Chapter 3. Lions, Eagles, and Watching Eyes. The Hogwarts Express let out a long Y. Saintel and Harry pressed his face against the compartment window, watching King's Cross disappear behind them. Vernon had dumped him at the station with his trunk and left without a word. Didn't matter. Harry had found platform 9 3/4 on his own, pushed through the barrier, and now he was actually leaving. The coin in his pocket had been burning hot since morning. Luna was on this train somewhere. Harry grabbed his trunk and headed down the corridor. Students everywhere. Kids laughing and talking and showing off new wands. Some stared at him as he passed and he heard whispers of Potter, and the boy who lived, but he ignored them. He'd learned about his fame from Hagrid during their Diagon Alley trip. Learned about Voldemort, about the night his parents died, about being the only person to survive the killing curse. It was a lot, but Luna had written him immediately after Hagrid's visit and her letter had helped. Harry, you're famous. That's weird and probably annoying. But you're still you. Still my friend. Still the boy who climbed down a drainpipe to escape his awful relatives. Don't let fame change that. Your friend who doesn't care about celebrity, Luna. He'd held on to that. Held on to the fact that Luna knew him before she knew he was famous. That their friendship wasn't built on his scar or his past. 3 compartments down, he spotted blonde hair through a window. Luna. Harry slid the door open and she looked up from the book she was reading. Her eyes went huge and bright. Harry. She launched herself at him and he barely had time to drop his trunk before she was hugging him. Tight. Real. Not a dream or a letter or a feeling through the bond, but actually there. Harry hugged back just as hard. She was taller than he remembered but still skinny. Still had those same gray eyes. Still smelled like the sea somehow even though they were nowhere near water. You're here, Luna said against his shoulder. You're actually here. I'm here. They pulled back and just stared at each other. grinning like idiots. Your hair is longer, Luna said. Your tooth grew back. Mum's books worked then. I worried they might be too advanced. They were perfect. Saved my life probably. Harry sat down across from her. It's so weird seeing you in person. I've been imagining this moment for 3 years. Me too. I practiced what I'd say. Had a whole speech prepared. But now I can't remember any of it. Luna laughed. I'm just really glad you're here. Me too. The compartment doors slid open again. A red-haired boy with freckles and dirt on his nose poked his head in. Can I sit here? Everywhere else is full. Sure, Harry said. The boy dragged his trunk in and collapsed onto the seat next to Harry. I'm Ron. Ron Weasley. You're Harry Potter, right? Saw your scar. Yeah, wicked. I'm the youngest of 6 brothers. Well, youngest boy. Got a little sister starting next year. Ron turned to Luna. I'm Ron. Luna Lovegood. Pleased to meet you. Lovegood. Like the Quibbler. My dad reads that sometimes. Says it's mental but entertaining. Luna smiled serenely. That's my father. He believes entertainment and truth aren't mutually exclusive. Ron blinked. Right. Anyway, this is mental, isn't it? Going to Hogwarts. My brothers told me loads about it, but I bet half of what they said is rubbish. They're always taking the mickey. Harry liked Ron immediately. He was easy. Normal in a way that felt comfortable after years of tension with the Dursleys. They spent the trip talking. Ron explained Wizard's chess and Quidditch and all his brother's accomplishments. Luna contributed random facts about magical creatures. Harry mostly listened, soaking it all in. But the whole time, he was aware of Luna. Of her presence. Of the bond humming between them like a live wire. Their magic recognized each other. Reached for each other. 3 years of separation ended and the connection was stronger than ever. Luna felt it too. He could tell by the way she kept glancing at him. By the small smile that never quite left her face. They were together. Finally. And nothing was going to separate them again. Hogwarts was massive. Harry stood in a boat crossing the Black Lake with Ron and 2 other first years, staring up at the castle. Towers everywhere. Lights in windows. Magic practically radiating from the stone. Luna was in another boat but close enough that he could feel her excitement through the bond. She was just as odd as he was. They climbed the stairs to the entrance where a stern-looking woman in green robes waited. First years. I am Professor McGonagall, Deputy Headmistress. You will follow me to the Great Hall for the sorting ceremony. You will be sorted into your houses, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. Your house will be like your family while you're here. Harry barely heard the rest. His heart was pounding. The bond felt strange, stretched, like it was anticipating something. He caught Luna's eye across the crowd. She was watching him with that intense stare. Didn't say anything, but he heard her thought anyway. Whatever happens, we're still us. Always, he thought back. The Great Hall took his breath away. Floating candles. Enchanted ceiling showing the night sky. 4 long tables packed with students. A staff table at the front with teachers in robes and pointed hats. And in the center, on a stool, sat a ratty old hat. When I call your name, you will sit on the stool and place the sorting hat on your head, McGonagall announced. The hat will determine your house. Harry watched students get sorted. Ron's brothers were all Gryffindors apparently because they cheered loudest every time someone joined that table. The Ravenclaw table was quieter. Hufflepuff welcoming. Slytherin looked cold and evaluating. Granger. Hermione. A girl with bushy brown hair practically ran to the stool. The hat barely touched her head before shouting, Ravenclaw. Several more names. Then, Lovegood. Luna. Luna walked to the stool calmly. Put the hat on. It slid down over her eyes. Harry held his breath. Through the bond he could feel the hat in Luna's mind. Could feel it considering, weighing. Then, Ravenclaw. Luna took the hat off and walked to the Ravenclaw table. She looked back at Harry once. Smiled. Then sat down next to Hermione Granger. More names. Harry waited. His scar was prickling for some reason. Probably nerves. Potter. Harry. The hall went silent. Then whispers exploded everywhere. Harry Potter. The Harry Potter. Did she say Potter? Harry walked to the stool on shaking legs. Sat down. McGonagall placed the hat on his head and everything went dark. Well, a voice said in his mind. Harry Potter. What a curious mind you have. So much pain, so much strength. And what's this? A bond. A very powerful bond. How extraordinary. Harry didn't know how to respond to a hat in his head. You've been through much, Harry Potter. Survived things that should have broken you. You have courage, loyalty, a fierce protective instinct. You'd do well in Gryffindor. But there's more. Cleverness, determination, ambition too. You could be great in Slytherin. Not Slytherin, Harry thought. Please, not Slytherin. Are you sure? You could achieve so much there. But I see, your heart is set, and that bond, fascinating. It pulls you toward Ravenclaw where your other half sits. But you're not meant for Ravenclaw. Your path is different. You need to be challenged. Need to be surrounded by those who will push you to be brave rather than clever. Yes, I see it clearly now. Gryffindor. The Gryffindor table erupted in cheers. Harry walked toward it in a daze. He'd been sorted away from Luna. Different houses, different common rooms, different everything. But through the bond he felt her reassurance. Saw her clapping at the Ravenclaw table. Still smiling. It's okay. Her thought came clear. We're still together. Houses don't matter. Harry sat down next to Ron's twin brothers who were both clapping him on the back and shouting about having Harry Potter in Gryffindor. He tried to smile, tried to look excited, but he was watching the Ravenclaw table. Watching Luna. She was watching him back. Malfoy. Draco. A pale boy with slicked back blonde hair strutted to the stool. The hat barely touched his head before shouting, Slytherin. The Slytherin table cheered. Malfoy looked smug. Ron leaned over. Knew he'd be Slytherin. Whole family is. Dark wizards, the lot of them. Harry stored that information away. He'd met Malfoy briefly in Diagon Alley. The boy had been sneering even then. Weasley. Ronald. Ron turned red and stumbled to the stool. The hat took a minute then shouted, Gryffindor. Ron collapsed into the seat next to Harry, grinning. Made it. Mum would have killed me if I'd been sorted elsewhere. Whole family's Gryffindor except for Uncle Caractacus, and we don't talk about him. The feast appeared after the sorting. More food than Harry had ever seen. He piled his plate high and ate until he couldn't move. Around him, everyone was talking and laughing. The twins were telling jokes. Ron was explaining Quidditch positions. Other first years were introducing themselves. But Harry kept glancing at the Ravenclaw table. At Luna sitting with Hermione and some other students. She was talking animatedly about something. Her hands moving. In the air as she described whatever creature or theory had captured her attention. She looked happy, comfortable, like Ravenclaw was exactly where she belonged. Harry was glad, but he also felt the distance between them like a physical ache. 3 years of letters and coins and dreams, and now they were in the same castle but separated anyway. The bond hummed with Luna's emotions. She felt the same way. Glad to be here but missing their connection already. Tomorrow. Her thought came through. We'll find time tomorrow. Tomorrow, Harry agreed. Dumbledore stood up after the feast. Tall and thin with a long silver beard and half-moon spectacles. He looked ancient and powerful and kind all at once. Welcome, he said. Welcome to another year at Hogwarts. I have a few start-of-term notices. First years should note that the forest on the grounds is forbidden to all students. Mr. Filch, our caretaker, has asked me to remind you that magic is not permitted in corridors between classes. Harry listened with half his attention. The other half was on the staff table, on the teachers watching the students. One of them, a pale man in a purple turban, was staring directly at Harry. His eyes were intense, hungry almost. Harry's scar prickled again. Through the bond, he felt Luna's concern. She'd noticed the man too. Who was that? Harry thought. Luna's response was uncertain. Professor Quirrell maybe. He teaches defense against the dark arts. Dad warned me about him. Says Quirrell seems nervous about everything. Quirrell didn't look nervous now. He looked calculating. Harry filed that away. Something to investigate later. And finally, Dumbledore continued, I must tell you that this year, the third-floor corridor on the right-hand side is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to die a most painful death. Several people laughed. He's not joking. You know, Hermione's voice came from the Ravenclaw table, pitched to Carrie. Dumbledore never jokes about deaths. The laughter died. Dumbledore's eyes twinkled as he looked at Hermione. Then his gaze moved to Harry. For a moment, their eyes met. Harry felt like Dumbledore could see straight through him. Could see the bond, the magic, everything he and Luna were. Then Dumbledore looked away and the moment passed. Now, off to bed. Pip pip. The Gryffindor common room was everything Harry had imagined. Warm and red and gold everywhere. Squashy armchairs. A fire crackling in the grate. Portraits on the walls that moved and talked. Percy Weasley, Ron's pompous brother and a prefect, showed the first years to their dormitories. Harry climbed the spiral staircase with Ron and 3 other boys, Seamus Finnegan, Dean Thomas, and Neville Longbottom. Their trunks were already waiting. 5 4-poster beds with red curtains. Windows overlooking the grounds. Harry claimed a bed near the window and started unpacking. The other boys were chattering about the sorting and the feast. Harry responded when spoken to, but his mind was elsewhere. On Luna in Ravenclaw Tower. On the bond stretching between them. On how weird it felt to be apart after spending years dreaming about being together. He pulled out his coin and held it. Sent warmth through it. Luna responded immediately. She was holding hers too. First day, Harry thought. We made it. We made it, Luna agreed. Get some sleep. Tomorrow we figure out how to navigate this place. Tomorrow, Harry confirmed. He changed into pajamas and climbed into bed. The mattress was soft, the blankets thick and warm. Ron was already snoring across the room. RRY stared at the ceiling and felt the bond humming between him and Luna. Different houses, different towers, but still connected, still together. He fell asleep holding the coin and dreaming of blonde hair and gray eyes and finally being home. Breakfast in the Great Hall was chaos. Hundreds of students eating and talking while owls swooped overhead delivering mail. Harry sat with Ron and tried to figure out his schedule. Double potions with Slytherin first thing, Ron groaned. Great, I heard Snape favors his own house like mad. Snape, potions master, head of Slytherin. My brothers say he's a nightmare. The Ravenclaw table was across the hall. Harry spotted Luna immediately. She was reading a book while eating toast, completely oblivious to the chaos around her. Hermione was next to her talking animatedly about something. As if sensing his attention, Luna looked up. Their eyes met across the hall and she smiled. Held up her coin briefly so he could see it. Harry grinned and touched his own coin through his pocket. Who's that? Ron asked. Luna, my best friend. The Quibbler girl. You're friends with her? Yeah, have been for years. Since before Hogwarts. She seems a bit odd, doesn't she? Was reading Upside Down at breakfast yesterday. Harry bristled. She's not odd. She's brilliant. Right. Sorry. Didn't mean anything by it. Ron looked uncomfortable. So, potions first. Reckon we should head down. The dungeons were cold and dark. Snape's classroom smelled like strange chemicals and preserved creatures. Students filed in and took seats. Harry sat with Ron near the back. Snape swept in like a bat. Black robes billowing. Greasy hair hanging around a sallow face. He moved to the front and his eyes immediately found Harry. Our new celebrity, Harry Potter. Snape's voice was soft but cutting. Tell me, Potter, what would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood? Harry had no idea. I don't know, sir. Tut, tut. Fame clearly isn't everything. Let's try again. Where would you look if I told you to find me a bazaar? I don't know, sir. What is the difference between monkshood and wolfsbane? I don't know, sir. But I'm sure if I'd been raised in the magical world instead of locked in a cupboard by my muggle relatives, I might have learned these things before arriving at school. Harry kept his voice even but his magic was building under his skin. The classroom went silent. Snape's eyes narrowed. 10 points from Gryffindor for cheek, Potter. And detention Saturday for failing to study your textbook before term. I did study my textbook. You're not asking first-year questions. You're testing me because you don't like me. Harry had no idea where this boldness was coming from. Maybe the bond. Maybe Una's presence in the castle making him braver. That's not fair. Life isn't fair, Potter. Another 10 points from Gryffindor for backchat. Now sit down and be silent. Harry sat. Ron was staring at him in horror. The Slytherins were snickering. But Harry wasn't sorry. Snape had targeted him immediately for being famous. Had tried to humiliate him. Harry wasn't going to just take that. The rest of the lesson was miserable. Snape criticized everything Harry did. Took points for breathing too loudly. Made cutting remarks about fame and arrogance. By the end, Gryffindor had lost 30 points. Harry had another detention for improper cauldron cleaning. He left the dungeon fuming. "Blimey, Harry," Ron said. "You really went at him." No one talks back to Snape. He was being unfair. Yeah, but that's just Snape. Everyone knows he hates Gryffindors. You just have to take it. Harry didn't want to take it. He'd spent his whole life taking abuse from the Dursleys. He wasn't going to take it here too. Through the bond, he felt Luna's concern. She'd sensed his anger. He touched his coin and sent back that he was fine. Annoyed but fine. Luna's thought came through worried. Be careful. Don't make enemies of the teachers. We need them on our side. He started it. I know. But pick your battles. Save your energy for things that matter. Harry knew she was right. But it still burned. Flying lessons were better. Madame Hooch was strict but fair. And Harry turned out to be a natural. The moment he kicked off the ground, everything made sense. The wind, the height, the control. Ying felt like freedom in a way nothing else did. He zoomed around the pitch while other students wobbled and fell. Neville crashed and broke his wrist. Draco Malfoy stole Neville's Remembrall and flew off with it. Harry chased him down without thinking. Dovin caught the Remembrall inches from the ground in front of Professor McGonagall. Instead of punishment, she recruited him for the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Youngest Seeker in a century. Ron was ecstatic. Harry was stunned. Luna sent him a letter that evening. "Congratulations on making the team. I saw you flying from the Ravenclaw Tower. You looked like you were born on a broom. I'm so proud of you. Your friend who will definitely attend all your matches, Luna." Harry read that letter 5 times. Luna was proud of him. That mattered more than making the team. Over the next few weeks, Harry settled into a routine. Classes in the morning, Quidditch practice in the evening, homework until late, and whenever he could, he found Luna. They met in the library between classes. In empty corridors after dinner. Sometimes in the courtyard at lunch. Just 5 or 10 minutes, but it was enough to feel connected again. To talk in person instead of through letters. Hermione Granger started joining them sometimes. She was brilliant and bossy and asked approximately 1 million questions about their friendship. Luna answered patiently. Ari liked that Hermione wanted to understand instead of just judging. Ron was more complicated. He clearly didn't get why Harry spent so much time with Luna. Made jokes about her reading upside down and believing in imaginary creatures. Harry shut that down fast. "She's my best friend. If you can't respect that, we have a problem." Ron backed off, but Harry could tell he didn't really understand. That was fine. Not everyone needed to get it. Classes progressed. Harry was good at Transfiguration and Defense Against the Dark Arts. Mediocre at History of Magic and Astronomy. Terrible at Potions because Snape continued to hate him. Quirrell's defense class was weird. The professor stuttered constantly and his classroom smelled like garlic. But sometimes Harry caught Quirrell staring at him with that same hungry expression from the feast. And his scar hurt whenever Quirrell was nearby. Harry mentioned it to Luna during one of their library meetings. "It's probably the turban," Luna said thoughtfully. "He claims it's to ward off vampires, but that's absurd. Vampires don't care about turbans. I think he's hiding something under it." "Like what?" "Could be anything. A curse scar. A magical parasite. Another face." Luna said the last one like it was perfectly reasonable. Hermione looked up from her book. "Another face. That's ridiculous." "Is it? Dark wizards have been known to possess people. Use them as vessels. If someone wanted to infiltrate Hogwarts without being recognized, possessing a weak-willed professor would be an efficient method." Harry's blood ran cold. "You think Voldemort is possessing Quirrell?" Several students nearby gasped at the name. Hermione made a squeaking noise. Luna just looked thoughtful. "Possibly. Or another dark wizard. There's a lot of dark wizards who'd want access to Hogwarts. To you specifically, Harry. You're famous. Valuable. If Vaith has any contacts in the dark wizard community, he might have arranged something." "Vaith?" Hermione asked. "Long story," Harry said. He trusted Hermione, but the full story of their bond and Vaith's obsession wasn't something to discuss in the library. "We should investigate," Luna decided. "Carefully. See if Quirrell is acting suspiciously. You want to spy on a professor. I want to ensure our safety." If Quirrell is possessed or working with Vaith, we need to know. Knowledge is protection. Luna pulled out a piece of parchment. I'll make a list of things to watch for. Unusual behavior. Unexplained absences. Magical signature fluctuations. Harry loved how practical Luna was. No panic. Just planning. Okay. We investigate. Hermione looked between them. I feel like I should tell you this is a terrible idea. But I'm also curious now. Count me in. October brought Quidditch matches and Halloween. Harry's first game was against Slytherin. He woke up nauseous with nerves. Luna sent him a note at breakfast. You'll be brilliant. I'll be cheering for you. Though I might also cheer for Int. Resting plays from the other team because good Quidditch is good Quidditch regardless of house. Your friend who believes in you, Luna. The match was intense. Harry flew harder than he'd ever flown. Dodged bludgers. Searched for the snitch. Tried to ignore the crowd screaming below. Then his broom started bucking. Jerking. Trying to throw him off. Harry clung to it desperately. Through the bond he felt Luna's panic. Looked down and saw her in the stands, her wand out, her lips moving. Hermione was next to her, also casting something. Whatever they did worked. The broom stabilized. Harry spotted the snitch and dove. Caught it in his mouth after a spectacular tumble. Gryffindor won. The stands erupted, but Harry climbed down shaking. Someone had cursed his broom. Tried to kill him. Luna and Hermione found him in the changing room afterward. Snape was cursing your broom, Hermione said breathlessly. We saw him. He was muttering and staring at you without blinking. I knocked him over to break his concentration. I set his robes on fire, Luna added. Just a small fire. He had to stop the curse to put it out. Harry pulled them both into a hug. You saved my life. That's what friends do, Luna said simply. Though we should report this to Dumbledore. A teacher trying to murder a student is rather serious. No one will believe us, Harry said. We're first years. And Snape hates me, but I don't think he'd actually murder me. There must be another explanation. Like Quirrell, Luna said. He was in the stands too. Right below you. Could have been muttering a curse just as easily as Snape. They investigated after that. Followed Quirrell when they could. Noticed he visited the third-floor corridor several times. The Forbidden Corridor. Something's up there, Ron said one evening in the common room. Something Dumbledore's protecting. Why else forbid it? We should check it out, Harry said. That's mental. We'll get expelled. Or we'll find out what Quirrell's after and stop him. Hermione frowned. Harry's right. If a professor is breaking school rules to access something forbidden, we should investigate. Luna nodded. Agreed. I'll create a distraction if needed. They planned for weeks. Watched patrol patterns. Learned unlocking spells. Finally, on a cold November night, they made their move. The third-floor corridor was dark and silent. Harry led the way with Ron, Hermione, and Luna following. They reached the forbidden door and Harry used Alohomora to open it. Inside was a giant three-headed dog. Sleeping. Standing on a trapdoor. Fluffy. Hermione whispered. Hagrid's dog. He mentioned him. What's it guarding? Ron asked. Luna was examining the trapdoor. Something valuable. Something that requires both physical security and magical protection. We should investigate further. Are you mad? Ron hissed. That thing will eat us. It's asleep. We could. The dog's eyes opened. All 6 of them. Run. They bolted. The dog's growls chased them down the corridor. They made it through the door and slammed it shut just as massive jaws snapped where Harry's head had been. Back in Gryffindor Tower, they collapsed in armchairs. That was terrifying, Ron gasped. That was informative, Luna corrected. 3-headed dogs are typically used to guard entrances. That trapdoor leads somewhere important. But what's down there? Hermione wondered. Harry thought about Quirrell's hungry stares. About his scar hurting. About something valuable enough to require a 3-headed dog. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. November turned to December. Harry's detentions with Snape continued. The professor seemed determined to make Harry's life miserable. But Harry had bigger concerns. The bond was doing something strange. Growing stronger. When Luna was nearby, Harry could feel her magic like a physical presence. Could sense her emotions with perfect clarity. Could sometimes even share brief thoughts without trying. It was convenient but also concerning. They were drawing attention. Students whispered about Harry Potter and Loony Lovegood. About how Potter was always with the weird Ravenclaw girl. About the way they seemed to communicate without speaking. Draco Malfoy made it worse. Started mocking Luna openly. Called her crazy. Said her father's magazine was for conspiracy theorists and idiots. Harry hexed him. Got a week of detention but didn't care. No one insulted Luna. You can't fight my battles for me, Luna said afterward. Watch me, Harry. I appreciate the loyalty. But I can defend myself. And you're making enemies. Malfoy's father is on the school board. He has influence. I don't care. He doesn't get to hurt you. Luna smiled. That's very Gryffindor of you. Mum would say it's also very stupid. But I love it anyway. They were standing in an empty classroom. Just the two of them. Luna's hand was on Harry's arm and the bond was thrumming between them. I missed this, Harry said quietly. Being with you. The letters were great but they're not the same as actually being together. I know. I spent 3 years imagining what it would be like to see you every day. Reality is better. Luna squeezed his arm. We're stronger together. Did you notice? When we're both in the same space, our magic amplifies. I can cast spells I shouldn't be able to cast yet. Can you? Harry nodded. Yeah, everything's easier when you're near. That's the bond. It's evolving. Growing as we grow. Luna looked serious. We need to be careful. If adults notice how strong we're becoming, they'll try to control it. Study it. Use it. Like Vaith wanted to. Exactly like Vaith wanted to. Dumbledore seems kind but he's also strategic. If he thinks our bond threatens the school's safety, he might separate us. Harry's magic flared at the thought. No one's separating us. Then we need to be subtle. Practice control. Don't show our full strength unless absolutely necessary. Luna pulled out a book. I've been researching bonded pairs. Historical examples. Most of them ended badly because they were too public. Too obvious about their power. We need to learn from their mistakes. Harry trusted Luna's judgment. They practiced subtlety. Kept their combined magic use private. Only pushed their connection when alone or in emergencies. It was hard. The bond wanted to be expressed. Wanted them to use their full strength together. But they held back. Christmas came. Most students went home but Harry stayed. The Dursleys had made it clear he wasn't welcome. Luna stayed too. Said her father was Reseer. Ching Nargles in Sweden and she'd rather be at Hogwarts. They spent Christmas together. Exploring the empty castle. Reading in the library. Practicing magic in abandoned classrooms. On Christmas morning, Harry woke to a pile of presents. One from Mrs. Weasley, a sweater, one from Hagrid, a flute, and one from someone anonymous, an invisibility cloak with a note saying it had belonged to his father. Harry showed Luna immediately. That's incredible, she breathed. Invisibility cloaks are rare, and this one looks like a true cloak, not just charmed fabric. It won't fade over time. Won't lose its properties. She touched it carefully. Your father must have been extraordinary to own something like this. Want to explore the castle with me? While invisible, Luna's eyes lit up. Obviously yes. They spent the next week sneaking around under the cloak. Discovered secret passages. Found the kitchens. Explored the castle at night. One evening they stumbled upon a room filled with junk and found a mirror. Beautiful. Ornate. With words carved in the frame. Arised straw eru oytube kafru oyt on woshi. Read it backward, Luna said. I show not your face but your heart's desire. Harry looked in the mirror and saw his parents. Standing behind him, smiling. His mother had her hand on his shoulder. His father was waving. What do you see? Luna asked. My parents. Harry's voice cracked. They're right there. Like they're real. Quote. Luna looked in the mirror. I see Mum. And you. And my dad. We're all together. Working in a lab. Happy. She stepped back. It shows what we want most. Not reality. Harry couldn't look away. His parents looked so alive. So present. Do you think they were good people? My parents. I think they loved you very much. That's what matters. Luna gently tugged Harry away from the mirror. But we can't stay here. This mirror is dangerous. It shows desires we can't have. If we look too long, we'll never want to leave. Harry let her pull him away but he kept glancing back. His parents growing smaller in the reflection until they disappeared. January brought new challenges. Harry was called to Dumbledore's office for the first time. The headmaster sat behind a large desk covered in strange silver instruments. His phoenix, Fox, perched on a stand nearby. "Ah, Harry, please sit." Lemon drop. "No thank you, sir." Very wise. One can never be too careful with sweets from strangers. Dumbledore's eyes twinkled. "I wanted to speak with you about several matters. First, your academic performance has been exemplary. Your professors, well, most of them, speak highly of your abilities. Snape doesn't. Professor Snape has his reasons for being particular with you. That is not my story to tell. But I assure you, beneath his harsh exterior, he has your best interests at heart." Harry doubted that but nodded. "Second, I've noticed you've formed a close friendship with Miss Lovegood." "Quite close indeed." Harry's guard went up. "She's my best friend. I do not doubt it. Luna is a remarkable young witch. As are you a remarkable wizard. But I must ask, have you noticed anything unusual about your friendship? Anything magical in nature?" Harry's heart pounded. He could lie, should lie, but Dumbledore's gaze was too perceptive, too knowing. "We're bonded," Harry said carefully. "Magically bonded. Have been since we met at age 8. Dumbledore nodded like this confirmed something. "I suspected as much. Your magical signatures resonate when you're together. It's quite extraordinary, also quite rare. Bonded pairs are documented throughout I story, but few are as powerful as yours appears to be. Is that a problem?" "A problem? No. A responsibility. Yes. Great power requires great wisdom, Harry. You and Luna will need to learn to control your bond. To use it wisely. To not let others exploit it. Like Vaith." Dumbledore's expression sharpened. "You know about Erasmus Vaith. He's been stalking us for years. Tried to kidnap Luna. Stole her mum's research. He wants to study our bond. Use us somehow." "I see. That is concerning. Vaith was a colleague of mine many years ago. Brilliant but obsessive. He became convinced that bonded pairs could unlock ancient magic. Could achieve immortality. His research crossed ethical lines and the Ministry banned it. He's been underground since." Dumbledore steepled his fingers. "If Vaith is interested in you and Luna, you must be very careful. He will try to manipulate you. To test you. To push your bond to its breaking point to see what happens. We can handle ourselves. I don't doubt that, but you shouldn't have to. You're children. You deserve to learn and grow without such threats hanging over you." Dumbledore stood. "I will do everything in my power to protect you both. But I need you to trust me. To come to me if anything unusual happens. Can you do that?" Harry wanted to trust Dumbledore. The man seemed genuinely caring. But Luna's warning echoed in his mind. Adults always wanted to control things they didn't understand. "I'll think about it, sir. That's all I can ask." Dumbledore walked Harry to the door. "One more thing. That invisibility cloak you received. Take good care of it. It belonged to your father and is more valuable than you realize. Use it wisely." Harry left the office with more questions than answers. Dumbledore knew about the bond. About Vaith. Maybe even about their power. But was he trying to help or control? He found Luna in the library and told her everything. He's trying to help, Luna decided. But he's also gathering information. Building a strategy. Dumbledore is known for playing long games. He'll protect us, but he'll also use us if it serves a greater purpose. So what do? We stay vigilant. We continue training. And we don't show him everything we can do. Keep some secrets. Just in case. February brought Valentine's Day and weird magical incidents. Someone released pixies in defense against the dark arts. So, one transfigured all the suits of armor into dancing couples. Someone charmed the great hall ceiling to rain roses. Harry suspected Luna was behind at least one of these pranks but couldn't prove it. They continued investigating the third-floor corridor. Hermione discovered that whatever was under the trapdoor was connected to Nicholas Flamel, a famous alchemist who'd created the Philosopher's Stone. A stone that granted immortality. "Voldemort wants it," Harry said during one of their secret meetings. "He's using Quirrell to get it. That's why my scar hurts around Quirrell. That's why Quirrell keeps trying to get past Fluffy. We need to stop him," Luna said. "If Voldemort gets the stone, he'll become immortal. He'll come back fully. And then," she didn't finish. "Didn't need to. We tell Dumbledore," Hermione insisted. "Dumbledore already knows something's happening," Harry argued. That's why he set up all those protections. He's testing Quirrell, waiting to see what he does. Then we wait too, Luna decided. We watch, we prepare, and if Quirrell makes a move, we stop him. March brought warmer weather and increasing tension. Harry's scar hurt more frequently. Quirrell looked more desperate. Something was coming to a head. During Quidditch practice, Harry noticed someone watching from the stands. Not a student, an adult, tall and thin with gray hair. Vaith. Harry nearly fell off his broom. Through the bond, Luna felt his panic. She was in the library but her magic surged toward him instinctively. Harry landed and ran to the castle. Found Luna in the library with Hermione. Vaith is here, at Hogwarts. I just saw him. Luna's face went pale. Are you certain? Positive. He was watching Quidditch practice. We need to tell Dumbledore, Hermione said. They raced to Dumbledore's office. The gargoyle wouldn't let them up. They argued with it for 5 minutes before Professor McGonagall found them. What is all this racket? We need to see Dumbledore, Harry said. It's an emergency. The headmaster is away. Ministry business. What's the emergency? Harry hesitated. McGonagall was strict but fair. She'd believe them. Probably. There's a man stalking us. Erasmus Vaith. He was at the Quidditch pitch. He's dangerous. McGonagall's expression hardened. Wait here. She returned 20 minutes later. I've alerted the Aurors. They'll patrol the grounds. But Mr. Potter, Miss Lovegood, if this man is truly dangerous, you need to stay where there are adults. No more wandering the castle alone. Understood. They nodded. But that night, Harry's scar exploded with pain. He woke gasping. The bond was screaming. Luna felt it too. Something was happening. Something bad. Harry grabbed the invisibility cloak and his wand. Sneaked out of Gryffindor Tower. Found Una waiting in the corridor in her nightgown with her own wand drawn. Quirrell, she said, he's going for the stone tonight. I can feel it. They ran to the 3rd floor corridor. Found the door open. Fluffy asleep. The trapdoor open. We go down, Harry said. Together, Luna agreed. They jumped. The challenges were exactly what Hermione had predicted. Devil's Snare. Flying keys. A giant chess set. A troll already unconscious. A logic puzzle with potions. Luna solved the logic puzzle in 30 seconds. They drank the potions and moved forward. The final chamber was massive. A mirror at the center. Quirrell standing in front of it. And hovering in the air, visible only through magical sight, a shadowy figure. Voldemort. Potter, Quirrell hissed. His voice was different, stronger. How nice of you to join us. And you brought your little bond mate. Excellent. I've been curious about you too. Harry's scar burned. Luna's hand found his. Their magic instinctively joined. You won't get the stone, Harry said. Won't I? I'm so close. The mirror shows me presenting it to my master. But I cannot retrieve it. Perhaps you can. Quirrell turned. His face was normal, but when he removed his turban, the back of his head showed another face. Flat, serpentine, red-eyed. Voldemort. The boy who lived, Voldemort whispered. How extraordinary you've become. And this bond. Such power. Such potential. Join me, Harry Potter. You and the girl. Together we could achieve greatness. Never, Luna said coldly. Pity. Voldemort's eyes fixed on Harry. Then you will die. But first, you will get me that stone. Quirrell lunged. Harry and Luna moved as one. Shield charms flared between them. Not separate shields but one shield, combined, solid as steel. Quirrell's curse hit it and dissipated. Impossible, Voldemort hissed. You're children. You shouldn't have this much power. We're bonded, Luna said. Our magic is greater than the sum of its parts. They attacked. Combined hexes and GNXES that shouldn't have worked together but did. Their magic was perfectly synchronized. Perfectly united. Quirrell dodged. Cast dark curses that Harry didn't recognize. But every time, their shield held. The bond was singing. Power flowing between them like lightning. Harry could feel Luna's thoughts. Her strategy. Her determination. They moved as one entity with two bodies. Quirrell was weakening. Voldemort's possession was draining him. But they couldn't keep this up forever. The mirror. Luna's thought came clear. The stone is in the mirror. If we can get it, we can destroy it. Harry turned to the mirror. Saw himself holding the stone. Felt it appear in his pocket. I have it, he gasped. Then we end this. Luna's magic surged through the bond. On 3. 1, 2, 3. They released every bit of power they had in one combined blast. Light exploded from their joined hands. Quirrell screamed. Voldemort's spirit was ripped from his body and fled through the wall. Quirrell collapsed, dead. Harry's scar stopped hurting. The chamber fell silent except for their ragged breathing. We did it, Harry whispered. We did it together, Luna corrected. Then the chamber door opened and Dumbledore rushed in. McGonagall and Snape behind him. Dumbledore took one look at Quirrell's body and the children standing hand in hand, magic still crackling around them, and his expression became unreadable. Remarkable, he said softly. Truly remarkable. The hospital wing was quiet at this hour. Harry and Luna sat in adjacent beds while Madame Pomfrey fussed over them. They were exhausted, drained, but alive. Dumbledore sat between their beds, the Philosopher's Stone on his palm. You've accomplished something extraordinary tonight, he said. Stopped one of the darkest wizards in history. Protected the stone. And you did it through cooperation. Through your bond. Is Voldemort gone? Harry asked. Not gone, but weakened. Without a body, he is barely more than spirit. He will try to return but not for some time. Dumbledore looked at the stone. Nicholas has agreed to destroy this. It's too dangerous to exist now that Voldemort knows of its location. How did you know we were down there? Luna asked. I didn't. I returned from the Ministry to find the third-floor corridor breached and followed. I arrived just as you defeated Quirrell. Dumbledore's eyes were serious. You took a tremendous risk. You could have died. We had to, Harry said. No one else knew what was happening. True, and I cannot fault your courage. But I can hope you'll be more cautious in the future. Dumbledore stood. Your bond saved you tonight. Your combined magic was greater than Quirrell's dark power. But it also exposed you. People will know now what you're capable of. That knowledge will bring both protection and danger. Quote, we can handle it, Luna said. I believe you can, but you shouldn't have to. Dumbledore placed the stone on the bedside table. Rest, recover. We'll discuss the future when you're well. He left. Harry and Luna looked at each other across the gap between beds. First year done, Harry said. We survived. We did more than survive. We won. Luna smiled. And we're stronger now, ready for whatever comes next. Harry reached across and took her hand. Their magic hummed between them. Quieter now, exhausted, but still there, still connected. Together, he said. Always together, Luna agreed. The end of term came quickly. Exams and final Quidditch matches and packing. Gryffindor won the House Cup thanks to points Dumbledore awarded for nerve and outstanding courage. Draco Malfoy threw a fit. Slytherin had been winning all year. But Harry didn't care. The cup was nice but not the most important thing he'd gained this year. He'd gained a home, friends, a place where magic wasn't freakish but normal. On the train ride back to King's Cross, Harry sat with Luna, Ron, and Hermione. They talked about summer plans. About second year. About everything they'd learned and everything still to learn. You'll write, won't you? Hermione asked. Both of you. I want to know what you're reading. What you're researching. Obviously, Luna said. We'll flood your mailbox. Ron was quieter. He'd been weird around Harry since the Quirrell incident. Finally he said, that was mad. What you two did. Fighting a dark wizard. At 11. We had to, Harry said. I know. But still, you're both mental. Brave. But mental. Ron grinned. It's brilliant though. Can't wait to see what trouble you get into next year. Harry laughed. Hopefully none. One dark wizard per year is enough. Where's the fun in that? Luna asked innocently. The train pulled into King's Cross. Students poured out onto the platform. Parents were waiting. Families reuniting. Harry's chest tightened. The Dursleys would be here somewhere. Waiting to drag him back to Privet Drive for the summer. Hey, Luna took his hand. It's only 10 weeks. Then we're back here. Back together. I know. Still sucks though. Write to me every day. Hold the coin every night. I'll do the same. And time will pass faster than you think. Harry nodded. Through the bond he could feel Luna's determination. Her refusal to let distance separate them again. It helped. They said goodbye on the platform. Luna hugged him tight. Summer goes fast. And then second year. New challenges. New adventures. Can't wait, Harry said. And he meant it. He found the Dursleys by the car. Vernon grabbed his trunk without a word. Petunia looked pinched. Dudley was eating a chocolate bar and ignoring everyone. Harry climbed in the back seat and looked out the window as they drove away. Watched London pass. Watched normal Muggle life resume around him. But he wasn't normal anymore. He was a wizard, was bonded to Luna, was stronger than the Dursleys could imagine. The coin in his pocket warmed. Luna thinking about him already. Harry smiled and sent warmth back. 10 weeks. He could survive 10 weeks. And then he'd go home again. Back to magic. Back to Luna. Back to where he belonged. The summer stretched ahead, but Harry wasn't afraid anymore. He had magic. He had friends. He had Luna. And that made him unstoppable. Chapter 3 End. Chapter 4. The hunting season. Harry bolted upright in bed, magic crackling across his skin. The dream, nightmare, was already fading, but the terror remained. He'd blown up his Aunt Marge. Actually inflated her like a balloon. She was probably still floating somewhere over Surrey. Vernon was going to murder him. Harry grabbed his trunk and started shoving things in. Clothes, books, his wand, the coin burning hot in his pocket. Luna felt his panic through the bond. He'd run, had to run, couldn't go back to that house. Couldn't face Vernon's rage. 10 minutes later, he was on the street with his trunk and Hedwig's cage. 3 in the morning, dark, empty, no plan except away. A dog's bark made him spin around. Massive black dog in the shadows, watching him with intelligent eyes. Then headlights. The night bus screeched to a halt and a spotty teenager jumped out. Welcome to the night bus, emergency transport for the stranded Witcher Wizard. My name's Stan S. Hunpike and I'll be your conductor for, blimey, you're Harry Potter. Harry climbed aboard. The bus was bizarre. Beds instead of seats, chandeliers swinging wildly as they lurched through traffic. He pawed for a ticket to London and collapsed on a bed. The coin was still hot. Luna pushing concern through the bond. Harry sent back exhaustion and fear and anger all mixed together. Felt Luna's steady presence in response. Anchoring him. The bus dropped him at the leaky cauldron as dawn broke. Tom the bartender looked surprised but got him a room without questions. Harry collapsed on the bed and finally let himself breathe. He was free. Away from the Dursleys. They couldn't drag him back now. Through the bond he felt Luna's relief. Then her determination. She was coming to him. Harry smiled despite everything. Of course she was. Luna arrived 2 days later with Xenophilius in tow. Harry was in Florine Fortescue's ice cream parlor working on his transfiguration essay when she walked in. She'd grown over the summer. Was almost as tall as him now. Her hair was longer, pulled back in a messy braid. She wore a necklace made of butterbeer corks and mismatched earrings. She spotted him immediately and her whole face lit up. Harry stood and they hugged. Tight and real, and the bond sang between them. You ran away, Luna said into his shoulder. I blew up my aunt. Good. She sounds dreadful. Luna pulled back. Dad's getting us a room. We're staying for the rest of summer. He agreed we shouldn't be separated right now. Right now? Why right now specifically? Luna's expression went serious. Because Sirius Black escaped from Azkaban. And he's looking for you. Harry's stomach dropped. He'd heard about Black on the Muggle news. Mass murderer. Voldemort supporter. Escaped from the wizard prison 3 weeks ago. Why would he be looking for me? Because he was your parents' best friend. Your father's best man at their wedding. And then he betrayed them to Voldemort. Luna sat down at his table. That's what the papers say anyway. But Dad thinks there's more to the story. The trial records are sealed. Black never had a proper trial actually. Just got thrown in Azkaban. So he might be innocent. Or he might be guilty but for different reasons than everyone thinks. Either way, he's dangerous and he's hunting you. The Ministry's terrified. That's why we need to stay together. Our bond makes us stronger. Safer. Xenophilius joined them, carrying 3 butterbeers. Harry, good to see you again, though I wish it were under better circumstances. Mr. Lovegood, thank you for bringing Luna. Please, call me Xenophilius. And it's no trouble. Luna was adamant she needed to be here. When my daughter is adamant, I've learned to listen. He smiled fondly at Luna. Plus her argument was sound. You two are stronger together. If Black is truly targeting you, Having your bond made nearby increases your survival chances considerably. They spent the afternoon catching up. Luna showed Harry her summer research, notes on crumple-horned snarkax and theories about Raxpert migration patterns. Harry told them about the Dursleys, increasing awfulness and Marge's inflation. The ministry sent me a letter, Harry said they're not prosecuting for underage magic. They were weirdly nice about it actually. Because you're Harry Potter and there's a mass murderer hunting you, Luna said. They can't afford bad publicity right now. Use that. You have leverage. Luna, Xenophilius chided gently. That's very Slytherin of you. Mum always said intelligence means using your advantages. Harry has advantages. He should use them. Luna pulled out a copy of the Daily Prophet. Look, Black's sighting in Aberdeen yesterday. He's moving south. Toward London. Toward you. Harry looked at the grainy photo of Sirius Black. Gaunt face. Sunken eyes. Matted hair. He looked insane. Do you think he'll actually find me here? I think the Leaky Cauldron is one of the safest places in magical Britain besides Hogwarts, Luna said. Tom is ex-Auror. Half the patrons are ministry workers. And we're here. Black would have to be suicidal to attack. Unless he is suicidal. Azkaban breaks people, drives them mad. Xenophilius folded his paper. We stay vigilant. We watch for signs. And we trust no one we don't know. A week into their stay at the Leaky Cauldron, someone new appeared. Harry was browsing Flourish and Blots with Luna when a man approached them. Tall and thin with gray hair. Sharp features. Eyes that saw too much. Vaith. Harry's hand went to his wand. Luna's magic flared beside him. Peace, Vaith said, holding up empty hands. I'm not here to fight. I'm here to talk. 5 minutes. That's all I ask. We have nothing to say to you, Luna said coldly. I disagree. You have questions. I have answers. Such as, did you know the ministry has been monitoring your bond since you defeated Quirrell? Did you know Dumbledore has been testing your connection in various ways to measure its limits? Did you know there's a Department of Mysteries team dedicated to studying bonded pairs and you two are their primary subjects? Harry's heart raced. You're lying. Am I? Asked Dumbledore. Ask him about the wards he placed around you both. Not just protective wards. Monitoring wards. He's been tracking your magical signatures for 2 years. Vaith's smile was sharp. The adults you trust are studying you like laboratory specimens. I at least am honest about my intentions. Which are what exactly? Luna demanded. To help you. To teach you. I knew your mother, Luna. Worked with her before. Well, before everything went wrong. Pandora was brilliant. She understood that magical bonds were the key to unlocking our species' full potential. You and Harry present the strongest bond I've documented in 50 years. You could change the world. Or you could use us to change yourself, Harry said. That's what you really want, isn't it? You're dying. You need our power to save yourself. Vaith's expression flickered. I'm extending my life through difficult means, yes. But that doesn't make me your enemy. I'm offering knowledge, training, protection from those who would control you. 3 minutes left. Will you hear me out? Luna and Harry exchanged glances. Through the bond, Harry felt her curiosity warring with her caution. 2 minutes, Luna said. Talk fast. Vaith pulled out a small journal. Your mother's research notes. The originals, not copies. I've been analyzing them for 2 years. She discovered something extraordinary. Bonded pairs aren't random. You're chosen by magic itself. By ancient forces that predate modern wizardry. You and Harry were destined to meet. Destined to bond. And that bond will only grow stronger until you either achieve something magnificent or destroy each other trying. That's not reassuring, Harry said. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be true. Vaith flipped pages. Your bond is already strong. Gier than most pairs achieve in lifetimes. You can share magic, share thoughts. Soon you'll be able to share life force. If one of you is injured, the other can sustain you. If one is dying, the other can transfer years. You'll become functionally immortal as long as you stay together. Luna's hand found Harry's. And if we're separated, you'd survive, but you'd be diminished. Half of what you could be. Vaith closed the journal. Time's up. Think about what I've said. When you want answers the adults won't give you, find me. I'll be watching. He vanished with a crack of apparition. Harry and Luna stood frozen in the bookshop. He's manipulating us, Luna finally said. Yeah, but he's not completely lying either. I've felt the monitoring wards. Thought they were just protective, but... Harry pulled out his coin. It was warm, but there was something else. A secondary pulse. Like a second heartbeat. Do you feel that? Luna held her coin. Frowned. That's not us. That's external. Someone's tagged our coins. Dumbledore. Probably. Or the Ministry. Maybe both. Luna pocketed her coin. We need to test Vaith's claims. Carefully. Without alerting whoever's monitoring us. They spent the rest of the day researching. Used Xenophilius's contacts at the Ministry to access public records on bonded pairs. What they found was disturbing. Every documented bonded pair in the last century had been monitored by the Department of Mysteries. Most had been recruited into government service. Those who refused were, the records got vague. Disappeared. Died in accidents. Separated forcibly. They're afraid of us, Luna whispered in the Leaky Cauldron's common room that night. Not of what we are now. Of what we could become. So we hide it. Keep the bond subtle. Don't show our full strength. We've been doing that for 2 years. It's not enough. They already know we're powerful. They're just waiting to see how powerful. Luna pulled out her coin. We need to modify these. Remove the tracking. Replace it with something that lets us communicate but can't be monitored. Can you do that? Mum could. She taught me some of her enchantment work before she died. I'll need time and privacy, but yes. I can do it. They worked on the coins in secret for the next week. Luna carefully unraveled the existing charms, identified the monitoring spells, and rebuilt the coins from scratch. By the end, they were better than before. Could transmit thoughts, not just emotions. Could show brief images. Could even create a temporary magical link that let them share spells across distance. And no one could track them anymore. Test it, Luna said, handing Harry his modified coin. Harry held it and thought, can you hear me? Luna's response was immediate and crystal clear. Perfectly. This is brilliant. We're completely private now. Thank you. Thank Mum. She designed the base enchantment. Luna smiled sadly. I wish she could see what we've become. I think she'd be proud. She would be. Harry squeezed Luna's hand. We're going to be okay. Whatever comes, we'll handle it together. September 1st arrived. Platform 9 3/4 was packed with students and parents in trunks and owls. Harry and Luna found a compartment and settled in. Hermione joined them minutes later. Harry, Luna, I heard about the Aunt Marge incident. Are you all right? And Black escaping. Has anyone spotted him near you? I've been reading everything I can find about Azkaban escapes, and apparently it's never happened before, which means Black must be extraordinarily powerful or extraordinarily motivated, and either way that's terrifying. Breathe, Hermione, Luna said gently. We're fine. Harry's been safe at the Leaky Cauldron. I've been with him. We're prepared for whatever comes. Ron showed up looking tanned from a trip to Egypt. Blimey, Harry, you blew up your aunt. That's brilliant. My brothers would pay to see that. They caught up as the train rolled north. Hermione Dom. I nated the conversation with summer reading lists and new subjects they'd be taking. Ron tried to show them his new wand. His old one had broken last year, and accidentally launched a spell that turned their compartment purple. Harry mostly listened. The bond with Luna hummed contentedly. They were going back to Hogwarts. Back to relative safety. Back to where they belonged. Then the train stopped. Not at a station. Middle of nowhere. The lights went out and frost crept across the windows. What's happening? Hermione asked. The temperature dropped. Harry's breath misted in the air. Through the window he saw a figure gliding toward the train. Tall, cloaked, hooded. The air around it seemed to wither and die. Dementor, Luna breathed. They're searching the train. For Black. The compartment. Door slid open and the Dementor entered. Harry had never felt cold like this. It went beyond physical, sank into his bones, into his soul. He heard screaming. His mother's voice. Not Harry. Please, not Harry. Take me instead. Luna's hand found his. Her magic surged through the bond. Warm. Alive. Fighting back the cold. Harry clung to that warmth. Pushed his own magic back through the connection. Together they formed a bubble of heat and light in the frozen compartment. The Dementor paused. Its head tilted like it was confused. Then it glided away. Harry sagged against the seat. Luna was pale but steady. What was that? Ron gasped. That thing. I felt like I'd never be happy again. Dementor. They guard Azkaban. They feed on happiness. Luna was still holding Harry's hand. They're looking for Black. The Ministry sent them to help search. Help. That thing was terrifying. A man's voice came from the corridor. Everyone all right? Nobody hurt. The compartment door opened. A man with GHT brown hair streaked with gray stood there holding a wand. His robes were shabby but clean. He looked tired but kind. I'm Professor Lupin, your new defense against the dark arts teacher. The Dementors have left the train. We'll be moving shortly. His eyes lingered on Harry and Luna. That was impressive magic. Wandless warming charm. Something like that, Luna said. Lupin's gaze sharpened. May I speak with you both? Privately. They followed him to an empty compartment. Lupin sat down and studied them carefully. I knew your parents, Harry. James and Lily. We were friends at school. I was sorry to hear about your circumstances after their deaths. Thank you, sir. And you must be Luna Lovegood, Pandora's daughter. She and I corresponded occasionally. Her work on magical creatures was groundbreaking. Lupin folded his hands. I felt what you two did back there. Shared magic. Combined defense against the Dementor. That's not something ordinary students can do. We're not ordinary students, Luna said calmly. No, you're bonded. I've only seen one other bonded pair in my life. My parents. They had the same type of connection you do. Lupin leaned forward. I need you to understand something. Bonded pairs attract attention. From people who want to use you. Study you. Control you. Dumbledore knows about your bond. He asked me to observe you this year. To report on your development. Harry's stomach twisted. And are you going to? I'm going to tell him you're two bright students with a close friendship. Nothing more. What you are is your business. But you need to be careful. The Dementors will affect you more strongly than other students because you feel everything more intensely. Your bond amplifies emotions. Joy is brighter, but so is fear, and Dementors feed on fear. How do we fight them? Harry asked. The Patronus charm. It's advanced magic, but I think you two could learn it. I'll teach you if you'd like. Private lessons. Off the record. Luna and Harry exchanged glances. Through the bond, Harry felt Luna's assessment. Lupin seemed genuine. His offer seemed honest. We'd like that, Luna said. Thank you, Professor. Call me Remus when we're alone. I have a feeling we're going to be spending quite a bit of time together this year. Hogwarts looked the same as always. Castle lit up against the night sky. Great hall decorated for the feast. Students chattering and laughing. But there were differences. Dementors stationed around the grounds. Aurors patrolling the corridors. Additional wards Harry could feel pressing against his skin. Dumbledore's welcome speech confirmed it. The Ministry has seen fit to station Dementors at every entrance to the grounds. They are here to protect you from Sirius Black. But Dementors are dark creatures and I urge you all to give them no reason to harm you. Stay in groups. Follow school rules. Do not wander at night. His eyes found Harry and Luna across the Great Hall. The look was pointed. Harry looked away first. That night in Gryffindor Tower, Ron cornered Harry. Mate, I need to tell you something. That Black bloke, my dad told me the truth. Black was after your parents. Betrayed them to you know who. And now he's escaped to finish the job. To kill you. I know. You know. And you're just sitting here. What else am I supposed to do? Run. Hide. I'm 13, Ron. I can't fight a mass murderer alone. You're not alone though. You've got me and Hermione. And Luna obviously. We'll watch your back. Harry felt something warm in his chest. Thanks. Really. That's what mates are for. Just be careful, yeah. Don't do anything stupid. I'll try. But Harry knew careful wasn't going to be enough this year. Their first defense against the dark arts lesson was interesting. Lupin was nothing like Quirrell or Lockhart. He was competent, knowledgeable. He taught them to fight boggarts and explained dark creatures with genuine expertise. Harry's boggart turned into a Dementor. He froze completely until Luna stepped in and her boggart replaced her mother, lying dead in a lab explosion. The class went silent. Luna raised her wand. Ridiculous. Her mother transformed into a cartoon version of herself covered in soot but grinning and waving. Luna lowered her wand, pale but composed. Laughter defeats fear. Mum would have appreciated that. After class, Lupin pulled them aside. You're boggarts. Both tied to death. To loss. That will make the Patronus charm more difficult but not impossible. We start lessons tonight. 8 p.m. in the unused classroom on the 3rd floor. They showed up at 8 with Hermione and Ron. I didn't invite them, Lupin said mildly. They're our friends. They should know how to defend themselves too. Harry crossed his arms. If that's a problem, we'll find another teacher. Lupin studied them, then smiled. You're very like your father, Harry. James never backed down either. Fine, everyone can learn, but the Patronus is extremely difficult magic. Don't be discouraged if it takes months to master. He taught them the theory first. A Patronus was pure positive energy. A shield against Dementors. Powered by happy memories. You need to find your happiest memory. The one that makes you feel most alive. Most yourself. Focus on that and cast. They practiced for weeks. Hermione managed Silver Vapor after 2 sessions. Ron got Wisps after 5. Harry and Luna struggled. Your emotions are too complex, Lupin explained during their 6th session. The bond makes you feel everything doubly. Joy but also fear. Love but also loss. You need to find a memory that's purely happy. Nothing bittersweet. Nothing complicated. Harry tried dozens of memories. Getting his Hogwarts letter. First Quidditch win. Defeating Quirrell. None worked. They all had shadows attached. Then he tried a different memory. The beach in Cornwall. Meeting Luna for the first time. Her telling him about magic. That moment of pure joy when he realized he wasn't alone. His wand produced a silver shield. Luna tried the same memory from her perspective. Her wand burst with light so bright Lupin had to look away. A silver animal erupted from her wand. A hare. Ethereal and beautiful. It bounded around the room before fading. Extraordinary, Lupin breathed. Luna, you just produced a corporeal Patronus. Most adult wizards never achieve that. It's Harry's memory too, Luna said. We were both there. Both felt that joy. The bond amplifies it. Try again, Harry. Use that same memory but push through. Make it solid. Harry focused. The beach. Luna's hand in his. The coin warming in his pocket. Their magic recognizing each other for the first time. His Patronus burst forth. A stag. Massive and silver and powerful. It pawed the ground and looked at Luna's hair. The two Patronuses circled each other like they were greeting old friends. Incredible, Lupin said softly. Complementary Patronuses. I've read about them but never seen them. They're drawn to each other. Will protect each other instinctively. Harry and Luna stared at their Patronuses. The stag and the hare. 2 halves of a whole. This is what we are, Luna said quietly. This is what they're afraid of. Then we don't show anyone else, Harry decided. This is ours. Private. They practiced in secret after that. Building their Patronuses stronger. Learning to maintain them for longer periods. Their connection grew deeper with each session. October brought the first Hogsmeade weekend. Harry couldn't go. The Dursleys had never signed his permission slip. He sat in the common room sulking while everyone else left. Then Luna appeared at the Gryffindor entrance. Come on. I know a way out. She led him through passages only she seemed to know. They emerged in Hogsmeade covered by Harry's invisibility cloak. Luna pressed close against him. How do you know these passages? Mum's old school journals. She documented every secret route in the castle. I've been exploring since first year. They spent the day together. Visited Honeydukes and Zonkos. Had butterbeers at the Three Broomsticks. For a few hours, Harry forgot about Black and Dementors and monitoring wards. In the Three Broomsticks, they overheard adults talking. Ministry officials discussing Black's escapes. How he'd been spotted near Hogwarts. How he'd murdered 13 people with a single curse. They're wrong about something, Luna murmured into her butterbeer. The story doesn't make sense. Why would Black escape now? Why wait 12 years? Because Voldemort's getting stronger. Maybe he wants to help his master return. Maybe. Or maybe there's something else going on. Something we don't know. On their way back to the castle, Harry spotted the black dog again. Watching from the shadows. When he moved toward it, the dog vanished. That's not a normal dog, Luna said. That's an animagus. I'd bet my Quibbler collection on it. You think it's Black. I think someone's watching you. And they're being very careful about it. Back in the castle, they were caught by Snape. He was furious. threatened expulsion, confiscated the Marauders map Hermione had lent Harry. But he didn't actually expel them. Just assigned detention and took 50 points from both their houses. He's not going to expel Harry Potter, Luna said after Snape stalked away. Too much publicity. We have that protection. Still, we should be more careful. Or we should be smarter about getting caught. November brought their first real encounter with the Dementors. Harry and Luna were crossing the grounds when 3 of them appeared, gliding toward them with horrible purpose. Harry's scar burned. He heard his mother's screams. Felt himself falling. Luna grabbed his hand and their magic flared together. 2 Patronus S's erupted. Stag and Hare, charging the Dementors with such force they actually retreated. Professor McGonagall found them minutes later. Potter, Lovegood, what in Merlin's name? Did you just cast Patronuses? Corporeal Patronuses? Yes, Professor, Luna said calmly. The Dementors were attacking. We defended ourselves. 3rd years don't cast Patronuses. That's NEWT level magic. We're not typical 3rd years. McGonagall looked between them. Her expression was complicated. No, you're not. Come with me. Dumbledore needs to know about this. The headmaster's office was exactly as Harry remembered. Silver instruments. Portraits. Fawkes on his perch. Dumbledore listened to McGonagall's report with growing interest. Corporeal Patronuses. Both of you. That's quite remarkable. Professor Lupin taught us, Harry said. Remus has always been an excellent teacher. But even with excellent instruction, the Patronus charm requires extraordinary magical power. You two must be practicing extensively. We practice together, Luna said. Our magic is stronger when we're together. Yes, your bond. Dumbledore's eyes twinkled, but there was something sharp underneath. I've been monitoring your development with great interest. You've grown considerably more powerful since 1st year. Your combined magical output is now approaching adult levels. That's both impressive and concerning. Concerning why? Harry asked. Because power without wisdom is dangerous. And you're still children. Brilliant, capable children. But children nonetheless. Dumbledore stood and walked to his window. I've been in contact with Erasmus Vaith. Harry's heart stopped. He's been writing to me, claiming you two are in danger from forces that want to exploit your bond. He's offered to help protect you in exchange for access to your training. To study your connection scientifically. Vaith is a dark wizard, Luna said coldly. He's been stalking us for years. Kidnapped my mother's research. Tried to abduct me last year. You can't trust him. I don't trust him. But I'm concerned about his claims. Is someone else hunting you? Someone I should know about? Through the bond, Harry felt Luna's warning. Don't tell him everything. He's fishing for information. There have been incidents, Harry said carefully. People watching us, following us, but nothing we can't handle. I see. Dumbledore returned to his desk. If you change your mind, if you need help, my door is always open. But please, be careful. Your bond makes you powerful, but it also makes you vulnerable. There are people who would hurt you to study that power. Don't give them opportunities. They left feeling unsettled. He knows more than he's saying, Luna said as they walked back to the common rooms. And he's definitely monitoring us still. Testing us. What do? We stay alert. We keep training. And we trust no one completely. December brought snow and Christmas decorations and escalating tension. The Dementors were patrolling more frequently. Black had been spotted in Hogsmeade. The Ministry was panicking. Harry's scar hurt constantly now. Not the sharp pain from Voldemort's presence. Something different. A pulling sensation. Like something was trying to get his attention. During Care of Magical Creatures, Hagrid was showing them hippogriffs when the black dog appeared again. Watching from the forest edge, Harry excused himself and followed it. The dog led him deep into the forest, to a clearing where it suddenly transformed. A man stood there, gaunt, ragged, but his eyes were clear and sane. Sirius Black. Don't scream, Sirius said quickly. Please, just listen. I'm not here to hurt you. Harry's wand was already out. You betrayed my parents. No, I didn't. Peter Pettigrew betrayed them. I was the decoy secret keeper. James and I switched at the last minute. Thought it would be safer. But Peter was working for Voldemort. He's the one who gave them up. That's impossible. Peter's dead. You killed him. I killed 12 muggles trying to catch him. But Peter's an animagus. A rat. He cut off his finger, blew up the street, and escaped while everyone thought he was dead. Sirius stepped closer. I've been in Azkaban for 12 years for a crime I didn't commit. Escaped to protect you. Because Peter's back. He's at Hogwarts. And he's working with someone dangerous. Vaith. Luna's voice came from behind Harry. She stepped into the clearing, wand raised. Peter Pettigrew is working with Erasmus Vaith. We suspected but couldn't prove it. Sirius blinked. You're Luna Lovegood, Pandora's daughter. You look just like her. His gaze moved between them. And you two are bonded. I can see it. The way your magic intertwines. Extraordinary. How do we know you're telling the truth? Harry demanded. You don't. But ask yourself. If I wanted you dead, would I have spent months watching over you? Would I have warned you about the Dementors? Would I risk exposing myself just to talk? Sirius sat down on a fallen log. I'm your godfather, Harry. James made me promise to protect you. I've failed for 12 years but I'm not failing anymore. Through the bond, Harry felt Luna's assessment. She was analyzing everything. Sirius's body language, his magical signature, his story. Finally she lowered her wand. I believe him, Luna. My intuition about people is rarely wrong. He's telling the truth. Or at least he believes he's telling the truth. Luna turned to Sirius. Where's Pettigrew now? At the school. Hiding as a rat. I've been tracking him but he stays close to students. Uses them as shields. I can't get to him without exposing myself to Dementors. Then we need to draw him out, Harry said. Set a trap. That's insane, Sirius said. You're 13. This is my fight. It's our fight too. Vaith has been hunting us for years. If Pettigrew's working with him, we have more reason to catch him than you do. Harry looked at Luna. We can do this. Together. Luna nodded. We set the trap. You provide the details about Peter. And we coordinate with the adults we can trust. Who can you trust? Professor Lupin. Maybe Dumbledore if we're careful. And each other. Always each other. They spent the next hour planning. Sirius told them everything he knew about Peter. His animagus form. His cowardice. His tendency to attach himself to powerful protectors. He'll be with someone important. Sirius said. Someone who makes him feel safe. A student in one of the main houses. Ron's rat, Harry breathed. Scabbers. He's had him for years. Since before Hogwarts. But that can't be. That would mean Peter's been at the Burrow for over a decade. Watching. Waiting. Perfect cover. Sirius's expression was grim. We need to catch him tonight. Before he realizes I've contacted you. They moved fast. Harry got Ron to bring Scabbers to the Shrieking Shack under the pretense of showing him something cool. Luna retrieved Lupin. Sirius hid in the shadows. Ron was confused and angry when Sirius appeared. That's Black. Harry, run. It's okay, Ron. Just trust me. Hold on to Scabbers. Ron clutched the rat tighter. Scabbers was struggling, biting, desperate to escape. Lupin arrived and froze. Sirius. Remus. It's been a while. You're supposed to be a mass murderer. I'm supposed to be a lot of things. But right now I'm just trying to catch a rat. Sirius pointed at Scabbers. That's Peter. Look at his paw. Missing toe on the front right. Peter cut off his finger to fake his death. Lupin moved closer. Examined Scabbers carefully. His face went white. Merlin's beard. It is him. I can see it now. The magical signature. You're all mental, Ron said. Scabbers is just a rat. Then you won't mind if we test that, Luna said. She raised her wand. Homorphous. The rat in Ron's hands began to change. Growing. Stretching. Transforming into a man. Short. Balding. Watery eyes. Missing finger. Peter Pettigrew collapsed on the floor of the Shrieking Shack. Ron stumbled backward. What? That was. My rat was. A Death Eater, Sirius snarled. And a traitor. Hello, Peter. Miss me. Peter scrambled away. Sirius. My old friend. They made me do it. Voldemort would have killed me. I had no choice. You had a choice. You chose to betray James and Lily. Chose to let me rot in Azkaban. Chose to hide as a rat for 12 years. Please. I can explain. It wasn't my fault. Peter's eyes darted around, looking for escape. Vaith made me. He promised protection. Promised power. I didn't know he was insane. Vaith. Lupin stepped forward. Erasmus Vaith. What does he want? The children. The bonded pair. Peter pointed at Harry and Luna. He's been planning for years. Needs their power for his ritual. I was supposed to spy. Report their progress. But I couldn't get close. They're too careful. What ritual? Luna demanded. Resurrection. He's dying. Been dying for decades. Needs a bonded pair's life force to complete his regeneration. You two are the strongest he's found. The perfect vessels. Harry's blood ran cold. He wants to steal our bond. He wants to bind himself to it. Make himself part of your connection. Achieve immortality through your link. Peter laughed desperately. He's been orchestrating everything. The Dementors. Black's escape. Voldemort's interest. All of it to push you two together. Make your bond stronger. Easier to exploit. That's enough. Lupin said firmly. Peter Pettigrew, you're under arrest for murder, conspiracy, and treason. Sirius, help me restrain him. They bound Peter with conjured ropes. Ron was still staring in shock. Harry and Luna stood together, processing Peter's confession. Vaith's been playing us, Luna said quietly. From the beginning, every threat, every attack, all calculated to make our bond stronger. We played right into his hands. Then we turn it around, Harry said. Use his own plan against him. Make him think he's won. Then trap him. That's extremely dangerous. So is letting him keep hunting us. We end this. Now. Tonight. Lupin was watching them. What are you planning? We're going to let Vaith think he captured us, Harry said. You'll take Peter to Dumbledore. Get Sirius cleared. Meanwhile, we'll use our bond to contact Vaith. Tell him we're ready to talk. Ready to learn from him. That's suicide, Sirius said. That's strategy, Luna corrected. Vaith wants us willing, cooperative. If we offer that, he'll lower his guard. And that's when we strike. Lupin looked at Sirius. They're as reckless as James was. Yeah, but they're also right. This might work. Sirius turned to Harry. You have a plan for after you bait him. We have our Patronuses, our bond, and each other. That's enough. They finalized the details. Lupin and Sirius would take Peter to Dumbledore. Present evidence. Get Sirius exonerated. Meanwhile, Harry and Luna would contact Vaith through the modified coins. It was risky, possibly insane, but it was their best shot at ending the hunt permanently. They waited until midnight, met in an abandoned classroom. Luna held her coin and pushed a thought through it toward the tracking signature she'd detected eerily. Vaith's listening spell he'd hidden in the original enchantment. We want to talk. We're ready to learn. Meet us at the boathouse. Come alone. For 10 minutes, nothing. Then the coin warmed. Vaith's thought came through. Wise decision. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Come alone as well. No professors. No friends. Just you two. Harry and Luna walked to the boathouse through empty corridors. The castle was silent, sleeping. They passed wards and protections that should have detected them but didn't. Luna had learned Pandora's ward-breaking techniques. The boathouse was dark and cold. Waves lapped against the boats. The moon reflected off the black lake. Vaith stepped from the shadows. You came. I'm impressed. And alone. You truly are learning. We're tired of running, Luna said. Tired of being hunted. You said you could teach us. So teach. Just like that. No demands. No conditions. We want protection from the Ministry. From Dumbledore. From everyone who wants to control our bond. You can provide that. Harry kept his voice steady. In exchange, you can study our connection. Learn from it. Just don't hurt us. Vaith smiled. A reasonable deal. Come. I have a laboratory nearby. We'll begin immediately. He turned to lead them out and Luna met Harry's eyes. Through the bond. Ready. Ready. They attacked simultaneously. Two Patronuses erupting from their wands. The Tag and Hare charged Vaith with the full force of their combined magic. Vaith spun, shocked, threw up shields but the Patronuses tore through them. Pure positive energy overwhelming his dark magic. You tricked me, Vaith snarled. You've been manipulating us for years, Harry shouted. Our turn. Vaith was strong. His curses came fast and brutal. But Harry and Luna had been training for this. Their magic flowed together seamlessly. Shield, attack, counter, advance. They pushed him back toward the lake. Step by step, their Patronuses circling him, cutting off escape routes. You can't win, Vaith gasped. I'm too experienced, too powerful. You're desperate, Luna said coldly. And dying. We can feel it. Your magic is failing. Collapsing. You needed us because you're already finished. Vaith's face twisted with rage. He pulled out a small dagger. Carved with runes. Pulsing with dark magic. Then I'll take what I need by force. He lunged at Luna. Harry moved faster. Threw himself between them. The dagger caught his arm instead of Luna's heart. Pain exploded. But worse than pain. Something pulling. Draining. The dagger was siphoning his magic. His life force. Luna screamed. Her magic surged through the bond. Pushing power into Harry. Sustaining him. But the dagger was drawing from both of them now. Using their bond as a channel. Vaith laughed triumphantly as energy flowed into him. His appearance improving. Growing younger. Stronger. Yes. This is it. This is what I needed. Your combined life force. I'll be immortal. I'll be. Sirius Black burst from the shadows in dog form. Bit down on Vaith's wrist. The dagger fell. Lupin was right behind him. Expelliarmus. Incarcerus. Vaith was disarmed and bound before he could react. His stolen youth faded immediately. He collapsed looking more ancient than ever. You're too late, Vaith wheezed. I got enough. Enough to survive. Enough to try again. This isn't over. You're right. Dumbledore's voice came from the entrance. It isn't over. It's finished. Erasmus Vaith, you're under arrest for attempted murder, illegal research, kidnapping, and conspiracy. You'll be spending the rest of your very short life in Azkaban. Orders poured in. Grabbed Vaith. Secured the dagger as evidence. Led him away still protesting and threatening. Harry collapsed. Luna caught him. The wound on his arm was bleeding but shallow. The real damage was internal. The dagger had taken something from him. Something he could feel missing. Harry, stay with me. Luna's magic was flowing into him through the bond. Sustaining. Healing. You're okay. We're okay. It's over. Is it? For now. For tonight. That's enough. Dumbledore approached them. His expression was complicated. That was extraordinarily brave. Also extraordinarily foolish. You could have been killed. But we weren't, Harry said. And Vaith's captured. Sirius is cleared. Peter's exposed. We won. You survived. Winning remains to be seen. Dumbledore helped them stand. But yes, you've accomplished something remarkable tonight. Stopped a dark wizard. Freed an innocent man. Protected yourselves and each other. Your parents would be proud, Harry. Both sets of parents. Luna leaned against Harry. Exhausted. Drained. But alive. Come, Dumbledore said. To the hospital wing. Madame Pomfrey will want to examine you both. And then we have much to discuss. The next few days were chaos. Ministry investigations. Interviews. Peter Pettigrew's trial. Sirius Black's exoneration. The Daily Prophet running front page stories about the boy who lived Captu. Ring a Death Eater with his mysterious bonded companion. Luna hated the attention. Harry just wanted to sleep. Madame Pomfrey kept them in the hospital wing for 3 days. The dagger wound healed quickly, but the magical damage took longer. Harry felt hollow, like part of him was missing. The dagger siphoned your life force, Dumbledore explained during one visit. Not much, perhaps a year or two. But enough that you'll feel weakened for a while. Luna sustained you through your bond, but that drained her as well. You both need rest, recovery, time. Did Vaith get what he wanted? Luna asked. Partially. He absorbed enough to extend his life by perhaps 5 years. But he's in custody now. Under maximum security. He won't be troubling you again. Until he escapes. Or sends someone else after us. Dumbledore's expression was grave. I won't lie to you. Your bond makes you valuable. Others will come. But you've proven you can defend yourselves. And you won't be alone. Remus will continue teaching you. Sirius is petitioning to become Harry's legal guardian. He'll be watching over you both. And I will do everything in my power to protect you within these walls. After Dumbledore left, Harry turned to Luna. Are you okay? Really? I'm tired. And angry. And frustrated that we have to keep fighting. Luna took his hand. But I'm okay. We're okay. We did it, Harry. We survived another hunt. How many more will there be? I don't know. But we'll face them together. Like always, Christmas came early for them. Sirius's exoneration was finalized on December 20th. He showed up at Hogwarts looking better, clean clothes, properly fed, hair trimmed. He met with Harry in Dumbledore's office. Harry, I'm so sorry for everything. For not being there. For letting you grow up with those muggles. For not fighting harder to prove my innocence. It's not your fault. You were in Azkaban. You couldn't fight. I should have tried harder. Should have escaped sooner. Should have. Sirius's voice cracked. You're James's son. And Lily's. You deserved better. I'm getting better now. And you're here now. That's what matters. They talked for hours. Sirius told stories about James and Lily. About Hogwarts pranks and order missions and falling in love. Harry listened hungrily, soaking up every detail about parents he couldn't remember. They loved you so much, Sirius said. Everything they did was for you. Lily's last words were begging Voldemort to take her instead. James tried to fight without his wand to buy them time. They died protecting you. Harry's eyes burned. I barely remember them. Then I'll tell you everything I remember. Every story, every memory. You deserve to know them. Sirius pulled out a photo album. Remus and I put this together. Photos from school, from the order, from your parents' wedding and your christening. It's yours. Harry opened it with shaking hands. Photos of his parents laughing, dancing, holding a baby Harry. They looked so young, so alive, so happy. Luna found him later crying over the album. She didn't say anything, just sat next to him and held his hand while he grieved for parents he'd never really known. The rest of the school year passed in a blur. Classes and exams and Quidditch. Gryffindor won the cup. Harry's scar stopped hurting for the first time in months. Sirius bought a house near Hogsmeade. Said he wanted to be close while Harry was at school. Luna visited with Harry on weekends. They'd sit in Sirius's new living room and just talk. About magic. About the future. About their bond. You two are remarkable, Sirius said during one visit. The way you work together. The trust you have. James and I had something similar but not this strong. Your bond is something special. It's also something dangerous, Luna said. People will keep coming after us. Vaith won't be the last. Then you keep training. Keep growing stronger. And you let people who care about you help. Sirius looked serious. Harry, I want to petition the ministry to let you live with me during summers. Get you away from those muggles permanently. Would you want that? Harry's heart leapt. Really, really, you're my godson. You should have been with me from the start. Better late than never. The paperwork took weeks but eventually came through. Harry would spend summers with Sirius. Would have a real home. A real family. Luna was happy for him but Harry could feel her sadness through the bond. Another summer apart. Another 10 weeks of letters and coins but not actually being together. Come with me, Harry said suddenly. To Sirius's. For the summer. We could. I mean if you want. I'd love to, Luna said immediately. I'll ask Dad. I'm sure he'll agree. Especially if Sirius is there to supervise. Xenophilius agreed enthusiastically. Said Luna needed friends her age. Needed to have fun instead of just studying. So it was settled. Harry and Luna would spend the summer together at Sirius's house. Training. Growing. Building their strength for whatever came next. The last day of term, they sat by the Black Lake watching the sunset. We did it, Harry said. Survived third year. Defeated Vaith. Got Sirius freed. Made it through. We did more than survive. We won. Again. Luna leaned against his shoulder. And next year we'll face new challenges. The Triwizard Tournament is rumored. That could be interesting. Can't we have one normal year? Normal is boring. We're not meant for normal. Luna turned to look at him. We're meant for this. For adventure. For fighting. For being extraordinary together. She was so close. Her gray eyes reflecting the sunset. Her hair gold in the fading light. The bond between them humming with everything they'd built together. Harry kissed her. It was brief. Soft. Aqua. Rode because they were 13 and had no idea what they were doing. But it was real. And it felt right. Luna pulled back, eyes wide. Oh, sorry. I should have asked. Don't apologize. I've been wanting to do that for months. Just didn't know if you felt the same way. I do. I have. For a while actually. Good. Luna smiled. That's very good. They sat together as the sun set completely. The castle lit up behind them. Their future spreading out ahead. They'd survived another year. Another hunt. Another threat. And they'd done it together. Always together. Whatever came next, they'd face it the same way. Chapter 4 End. Chapter 5. Resonance Rising. The Quidditch World Cup was absolute chaos. Harry stood with Sirius, Luna, and Xenophilius in the top box watching Ireland destroy Bulgaria. The crowd was screaming. Veela were dancing on the pitch. Leprechauns were showering gold coins everywhere. Luna was taking notes on the Veela's magical signatures. Because of course she was. They're not actually that beautiful, she said over the noise. It's a glamour. Fascinating how it affects the crowd psychology though. Notice how the men are all leaning forward while the women mostly look annoyed. Hermione leaned over. I noticed. It's quite manipulative actually. Should be regulated. Everything's regulated in the magical world, Xenophilius said cheerfully. Doesn't make it less interesting. The match ended with Ireland winning but Krum catching the snitch. The crowd went wild. Harry and Luna stayed to watch the celebrations while Sirius chatted with ministry officials. He'd reconnected with since his exoneration. Then everything went wrong. Dark Mark. Death Eaters. People screaming and running. Tents burning. Harry grabbed Luna's hand and they ran with everyone else. But Luna pulled him sideways into the forest instead of toward the main exits. What are you doing? Getting away from the crowds. Stampedes kill more people than Death Eaters usually. Luna had her wand out. Stay close. They found Hermione in the forest looking terrified. Ron appeared moments later with his family. They huddled together as explosions and screams echoed through the trees. Someone cast the dark mark into the sky. A massive green skull with a snake protruding from its mouth. It hung there like a threat. That's Voldemort's mark, Hermione whispered. The Death Eaters are back. Aurors appeared and started stunning anything that moved. Harry, Luna, and their friends barely avoided getting hit. By the time everything calmed down, dozens of people were injured and the Death Eaters had vanished. Sirius found them an hour later looking shaken. Everyone okay? Good. We're leaving. Now. Before the ministry starts asking questions. In the tent they'd been using as a base. Sirius poured fire whiskey with trembling hands. This is bad. The Death Eaters coming out of hiding. Voldemort's supporters getting bold. Something's happening. Something big. The Dark Lord is growing stronger. Xenophilius said quietly. I've been hearing rumors. Sightings. Reports of unusual dark magic activity. The Quibbler's been investigating but no one wants to go on record. You think Voldemort's planning a return? Harry asked. I think forces are aligning. Whether it's Voldemort himself or his followers preparing the way. Sirius drained his glass. Either way, Harry, you need to be careful this year. More careful than ever. Luna's hand found Harry's under the table. Through the bond. They're scared. Really scared. Should we be? We should be prepared. There's a difference. September 1st arrived too fast and too slow. Harry and Luna had spent the summer at Sirius's house training obsessively. Combat magic. Strategic planning. Building their bond even stronger. They could communicate across distances now without the coins. Could share spells mid-combat. Could even, briefly, share senses, Harry seeing through Luna's eyes and vice versa. It was powerful and intimate and occasionally overwhelming. You two are codependent, Hermione said on the train to Hogwarts. That's not healthy. We're bonded, Luna corrected. It's literally impossible for us to be independent. Our magic is intertwined at the soul level. That sounds exhausting. Sometimes it is. But mostly it's just us. Luna looked at Harry. We've been this way for 6 years now. Can't imagine being any other way. Ron was quiet. He'd been weird all summer. Distant. Harry had tried to talk to him but Ron kept deflecting. Finally, halfway to Hogwarts, Ron exploded. Are you two dating? Harry and Luna exchanged glances. Yes, Harry said. Since last year. Didn't we mention that? No, you didn't. I thought. I mean, Ron's ears went red. You're 14. You're too young for that. We're bonded. Age is sort of irrelevant. Luna tilted her head. Why does this upset you? Because you're always together. Harry barely has time for anyone else. And now you're kissing and holding hands and it's weird, okay. Quote, it's not weird, Hermione said firmly. It's sweet. They care about each other. Support each other. That's what relationships should be. But they're so young. They've been through more than most adults, Hermione interrupted. Fighting dark wizards. Protecting each other. Dealing with assassination attempts and magical stalkers. They've earned the right to figure out their relationship without our judgment. Ron deflated. I miss my best mate. Feels like I lost him to. He gestured vaguely at Luna. Harry felt a pang of guilt. Ron, you didn't lose me. I'm still here. Still your friend. Luna doesn't replace you. She's just everything to you. Yeah, I get it. Ron stood up. I'm going to find Dean and Seamus. See you at school. He left. The compartment fell silent. He'll come around, Hermione said. He's just jealous. Not of you romantically, she added quickly to Luna. Just of the closeness you two have. Ron's always felt overshadowed by his brothers. Now his best friend has this incredible bond with someone else. It's hard for him. I don't want to hurt him, Harry said. Then give him time, and make an effort to include him. Show him he still matters. Hermione pulled out a book. Now, has anyone read about the Triwizard Tournament? Because I have theories. Dumbledore's announcement at the welcoming feast was met with mixed reactions. The Triwizard Tournament will be held at Hogwarts this year. 2 other schools will be joining us, Beauxbatons and Durmstrang. 1 champion from each school will compete in 3 dangerous tasks. Due to the risks, only students 17 and older may enter. The Great Hall erupted in groans and protests from younger students. Harry felt something cold in his stomach. Through the bond, Luna felt it too. Something's wrong. This feels like a trap. For us specifically. Maybe. Or maybe I'm paranoid after 6 years of being hunted. Dumbledore continued explaining the tournament. The Goblet of Fire. The Triwizard Cup. The Eternal Glory. Harry barely listened. His scar was prickling. Not painful yet, just awareness. Like something was watching him. That night in Gryffindor Tower, Ron was still distant. Harry tried to engage him in conversation, but Ron gave one-word answers and went to bed early. He's really hurt, Neville said quietly. Been going on about it all summer apparently. Feels like you replaced him. I didn't replace him. Luna's different. She's your girlfriend and magical soulmate and the most important person in your life. Yeah, which is great for you. Less great for the best mate who feels like he's been demoted. Neville shrugged. Just saying. Might want to make an effort. Before he does something stupid. Harry lay awake that night thinking about friendship and bonds and how to balance both. Through the bond he felt Luna in Ravenclaw Tower doing the same thing. Ron has a point. We are codependent. We're bonded. That's different. Is it? We spend every free moment together. Share every thought. Can barely function apart. That's not healthy even for bonded pairs. Are you saying we should spend less time together? I'm saying we should make sure we're choosing this. Not just defaulting to it because it's easier. Harry didn't like that idea. But he understood it. They'd been so focused on their bond they'd neglected other relationships. Other parts of themselves. We'll try, this year, to be more independent. Stay connected but give each other space. And give our friends space to be important too. Yeah, that. Beauxbatons arrived in a massive flying carriage pulled by winged horses. Durmstrang came via a ship that rose from the Black Lake. Students poured into the Great Hall for a feast. Harry spotted Viktor Krum with the Durmstrang students. The famous seeker looked bored and intimidating. Several girls started giggling and whispering. The Beauxbatons students were led by a half-giant woman, Madame Maxie. And included several stunning girls who had to be part Veela. One of them, Fleur Delacour, caught Harry staring and winked. He looked away quickly. Luna was watching the Durmstrang students with interest. Their headmaster is Igor Karkaroff. Former Death Eater. Turned informant to avoid Azkaban. Interesting choice to lead a school. How do you know that? Dad investigates everyone who comes near you. Karkaroff's been teaching dark arts despite claiming he reformed. Several students have reported concerning curriculum. Dumbledore introduced the Goblet of Fire. A wooden cup filled with blue-white flames. Students who wanted to compete would submit their names. The goblet would choose 1 champion from each school on Halloween. Anyone under 17 can't enter, Hermione said. There's an age line. You can't cross it. Someone will try anyway, Luna predicted. There's always someone who thinks they're clever enough to beat the rules. Fred and Weasley tried the next morning. Used an aging potion to cross Dumbledore's age line. The goblet spat them out with long white beards. The entire hall laughed, but Luna was right. Someone would find a way around the restrictions. Harry could feel it. October brought the champion selection. The great hall was packed. Tension crackling in the air. The goblet's flames turned red. Spat out a piece of parchment. The champion for Durmstrang is Victor Krum. Applause. Krum stood and walked to the champion's room without expression. The champion for Beauxbatons is Fleur Delacour. More applause. Fleur smiled and waved before leaving. And the champion for Hogwarts is Cedric Diggory. Hufflepuff erupted in cheers. Cedric looked shocked but pleased. He walked to the champion's room with his house chanting his name. There, Dumbledore said, "Our 3 champions. I'm confident." The goblet's flames turned red again. Everyone froze. Another piece of parchment shot out. Dumbledore caught it. "Read it." His expression went from confused to horrified. "Harry Potter." Silence. Then chaos. "He's not 17. He can't compete. He must have tricked the age line." Harry sat frozen. He hadn't entered. Didn't want to compete. Didn't. Through the bond. Luna's fury was white-hot. "Someone put your name in. This is a setup. Vaith. Or someone working for him. Get up. Go to the champion's room. We'll figure this out." Harry stood on shaking legs. The entire hall was staring. He walked to the front. Dumbledore looked ancient and angry. "Harry, did you put your name in the goblet?" "No, sir." "Did you ask an older student to do it for you?" "No, sir. I don't want to compete." Dumbledore studied him, then nodded slowly. "I believe you. But the goblet has spoken. You're magically bound. You must compete." The champion's room was small and tense. Cedric looked confused. Fleur looked annoyed. Krum looked suspicious. Ministry officials poured in. Barty Crouch Sr., head of International Magical Cooperation, was adamant Harry had to compete. Magical contract. Binding. No way out. Karkaroff protested that it was cheating. Madame Maxime demanded a 4th Beauxbatons champion. Snape glared at Harry like this was somehow his fault. Only Mad-Eye Moody, the new defense against the dark arts professor, looked thoughtful. "Someone's playing a deep game. Put the boy's name in the goblet knowing he'd be bound." Question is, why? Harry knew why, could feel it in his bones. This was part of Vaith's plan. Part of something bigger. The meeting dragged on for hours. Eventually it was decided. Harry would compete. 4 champions instead of 3. The tasks would proceed as planned. Harry left feeling numb. Luna was waiting outside. She pulled him into an empty classroom and hugged him hard. "It's Vaith. It has to be. He's not in Azkaban anymore." "What? He escaped?" "No. He was released 3 weeks ago. Medical grounds. Dad's been tracking it but the ministry buried the story. Vaith's dying for real now. The life force he street. All from you last year bought him time but it's running out. He needs more. Needs our bond. So he's using the tournament to get to me. To get to both of us. The tasks will be designed to push you to your limits. You'll need help. You'll need me. And when we combine our magic to save you, he'll be watching. Learning. Preparing." Harry's scar prickled. "It's not just Vaith. Voldemort's involved somehow. I can feel him. Getting closer." Quote, "Then we prepare for both. Train harder. Learn everything we can about the tasks. And we don't trust anyone we don't have to." Luna took his face in her hands. "You're not doing this alone. We're in this together. Like always. The tournament rules. Our guidelines. We'll find ways around them. I'm not letting you face dragons or dark magic or whatever they throw at you without backup." Harry kissed her, brief and fierce and grateful. "I love you. I know. I love you too. Now let's go figure out how to survive this." The next few weeks were hell. Half the school thought Harry cheated. Students wore badges saying, "Potter stinks." Slytherin especially was vicious. Even Hufflepuff, normally friendly, turned cold because Harry was competing against their champion. Gryffindor was split. Some supported him. Others thought he wanted attention. Ron wasn't speaking to him at all. "He thinks you entered and didn't tell him," Hermione explained. "Thinks you wanted glory for yourself. That's ridiculous. I didn't enter. I know that. Luna knows that. But Ron's jealous and hurt and not thinking clearly." Harry tried to talk to Ron multiple times. Each time Ron walked away or ignored him. It hurt more than the badges or the whispers. Luna dealt with her own problems. Ravenclaw ostracized her for helping Harry cheat. Students hid her things, called her loony, made her life miserable, but Luna didn't care. She spent every free moment helping Harry prepare. The first task is November 24th. We have a month. Whatever it is, it'll be dangerous. Designed to test courage and magical ability. How do we find out what it is? We ask someone who knows. Luna pulled out a piece of parchment. I've been corresponding with Madame Maxime's assistant. The schools were told what the first task is so they could advise their champions. We just need to get that information. They enlisted Hermione's help. She was better at subtle information gathering. Within a week, she had the answer. Dragons. The first task is dragons. Harry's stomach dropped. Dragons. 4 of them. 1 for each champion. You'll have to get past them somehow. Retrieve something. They didn't specify what. I'm going to die. You're not going to die, Luna said firmly. We're going to prepare. Research dragon behavior. Learn defensive spells. Practice your flying because you'll probably need your firebolt. Quote. They trained obsessively. Mad-Eye Moody helped, teaching Harry the summoning charm. Accio. Simple spell but effective. Summon your broom. Use your strengths. Sirius sent care packages full of protective amulets and advice. Wrote that he was coming to watch the first task. That he was proud of Harry for handling this with dignity. Hagrid revealed, accident, ally, that the first task was definitely dragons. Showed Harry the 4 species they'd brought in. Common Welsh green, Swedish short snout, Chinese fireball, Hungarian horntail. Yale do fine, Hagrid said. Just don't panic. Dragons sense fear. The night before the first task, Harry couldn't sleep. He met Luna on the astronomy tower. They sat together under the stars. I'm scared, Harry admitted. I know, I can feel it through the bond. But Harry, you've faced worse. You fought Voldemort at 11. Defeated Vaith at 13. Trained all summer. You're ready. What if I'm not? What if I mess up and die and... Luna kissed him. Longer this time. Desperate and real. You won't. Because I'll be there. Not physically. But through the bond. Every second. Sharing strength. Sharing magic. You're not alone in this. I love you. I love you too. Now get some sleep. Tomorrow you show everyone what Harry Potter can really do. The first task was a nightmare. A massive arena had been constructed. Stands packed with students and teachers and ministry officials. Harry stood with the other champions waiting for his turn. Cedric went first. Conjured a dog to distract his dragon. Got burned but retrieved the golden egg. Fleur used a sleep charm. Nearly got roasted when it failed. Still got her egg. Krum used a conjunctivitis curse. Blinded his dragon. Brutal but effective. Then Harry's turn. The Hungarian horntail was massive. Black scales. Yellow eyes. Flames that looked like they could melt stone. Harry stepped into the arena and the dragon roared. Through the bond, Luna's presence wrapped around him. Steady. Strong. Breathe. Focus. You know what to do. Harry raised his wand. Accio Firebolt. His broom shot from the castle. Harry mounted it and kicked off. Flying changed everything. He could move. Could dodge. The dragon's flames missed him by inches as he soared and dove and circled. The crowd was screaming. Harry barely heard them. All his focus on the dragon. On the golden egg chained to her nest. He dove. The dragon's tail swung. Harry barrel rolled. The tail missed by centimeters. Another dive. Closer. The dragon breathed fire. Harry pulled up at the last second. Heat scorched his robes. Harry, she's protecting the nest. She thinks you're after her eggs. Show her you're not. Luna's thought was brilliant. Harry changed tactics. Stopped diving at the nest. Street. Arted flying patterns that drew the dragon away. The horntail followed him. Chasing. Breathing fire. But moving away from the eggs. Harry circled back in a wide arc. Dove from behind. Grabbed the gold. Egg and pulled up before the dragon realized what happened. The crowd erupted. Harry landed shaking. The dragon handlers rushed in to control the horntail. Madame Pomfrey ran over to heal his burns. Excellent work, Potter. Fastest time. Minimal damage. 10 from 10 from all judges except Karkaroff, who gave you a 4, the bitter old. Harry tuned it out. Found Luna in the stands. She was crying and grinning at the same time. Through the bond. You were magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. We were magnificent. Couldn't have done it without you. The celebration in Gryffindor Tower was overwhelming. Everyone wanted to pat Harry's back. Tell him he was brilliant. Even students who'd been hostile earlier were suddenly his best friends. Ron appeared looking sheepish. Mate, I'm sorry. I was a complete prat. You didn't enter. I should have believed you from the start. It's okay. It's not. But thank you for saying that. Ron held out his hand. Friends. Harry shook it. Friends. Things improved after that. Ron was still weird about Luna sometimes, but he tried. Made an effort to include her in conversations. Stopped making snide comments about their relationship. The golden egg was a mystery though. When Harry opened it, it screamed. A horrible wailing shriek that hurt his ears. It's a clue, Hermione said. For the second task, you need to figure out what it means. Harry and Luna spent weeks trying. Different spells, different environments. Nothing worked. The egg just screamed. Then Cedric gave Harry a hint. Take a bath. With the egg. Trust me. The prefect's bathroom was luxurious. A massive tub like a swimming pool. Harry filled it with hot water and bubble bath, then submerged the egg. The screaming became singing. Come seek us where our voices sound. We cannot sing above the ground. An hour long you'll have to look, to recover what we took. Harry surfaced gasping. Merpeople. The second task involved merpeople. And they'd taken something of his. He found Luna immediately and told her. The Black Lake. You'll have to swim. For an hour. Recover whatever they took. Luna was already planning. We need to research underwater breathing spells. Gillyweed maybe. And you'll need protection against cold and water pressure. What do you think they'll take? Luna's expression was grim. Something valuable. Something that would motivate you to risk drowning. An object or, she paused. Or a person. Harry's blood went cold. You. Possibly. I'm what you value most. The bond makes that obvious to anyone paying attention. I won't let them take you. You might not have a choice. If it's part of the task. Luna took his hand. Harry, if they do take me, I'll be fine. I can hold my breath for a long time. And the bond will keep me connected to you. Keep me calm. I'll survive until you reach me. What if I don't reach you in time? Then I'll save myself. I'm not helpless. Luna smiled. But you will reach me. I have complete faith in that. Christmas brought a Yule Ball. A formal dance for the tournament champions and their dates. Harry had to find a partner. He wanted to take Luna, but she was in a different house. Would it be allowed? LD people make fun of them more than they already did. Luna solved it by asking him first. Potter, will you accompany me to the Yule Ball? Obviously yes. But won't people talk, stare, judge? They're already doing that. At least this way we'll look fabulous while they do it. Luna grinned. I'm getting dress robes. You should too. Something that matches your eyes. Ron asked Hermione at the last minute. She said yes but was annoyed he waited so long. Neville asked Ginny. Dean asked Parvati. Seamus asked Lavender. The night of the ball, Harry put on his new robes, emerald green that Luna insisted on, and waited in the entrance hall. Luna descended the stairs and Harry forgot how to breathe. Her robes were silver with shifting patterns like moonlight on water. Her hair was twisted up with small crystals woven through. She wore radish earrings which should have looked ridiculous but somehow worked. She looked ethereal, beautiful, completely herself. You're staring, Luna said. You're stunning. Thank you. You're quite attractive yourself. The green brings out your eyes like I knew it would. They entered the great hall together. The room had been transformed. Snow falling from the enchanted ceiling. Ice sculptures. Tables with white linens and glittering centerpieces. The champions opened the ball with a waltz. Harry had practiced with McGonagall but still felt clumsy. Luna guided him smoothly through the steps. Relax. You're doing fine. Everyone's watching. Let them. We're the most interesting couple here. She wasn't wrong. They got stares all night. Some admiring. Some jealous. Some hostile. But Luna was right. They looked fabulous. During a break between dances, they stepped outside for air. The grounds were frozen and beautiful under a full moon. This is nice, Harry said. Just being normal teenagers for one night. We're not normal. We're bonded. But I understand the sentiment. Luna leaned against him. Thank you for bringing me. Even though technically I brought you. Thank you for making me practice those dance steps. McGonagall was terrifying. Luna laughed. Then her expression changed. Harry, look. A figure in the shadows. Watching them. Harry's hand went to his wand. The figure stepped forward into the moonlight. Barty Crouch Jr. Except it wasn't. The features shifted, changed, became someone else. Polyjuice potion, Luna breathed. The man smiled, raised his wand. Stupefy. Harry and Luna both shielded. The spell deflected. They counter-attacked together, hexes flying in perfect synchronization. But the imposter was good. He dodged, cast dark curses Harry didn't recognize. Fought with skill and desperation. Who are you? Harry demanded. Someone who wants your bond. Someone who needs it. The imposter's face shifted again. Features settling into someone older. Gaunt. Familiar. Barty Crouch Jr. You're supposed to be dead, Luna said. I was. My father rescued me, kept me hidden. But Vaith found me, offered me freedom in exchange for service. All I had to do was get Potter into the tournament. Let Vaith set his trap. Crouch was breathing hard. He's coming. Tonight. During the second task. You'll both die and he'll harvest your bond for himself. We'll stop him, Harry said. You can't. He's too strong. Too prepared. A stunning spell hit Crouch from behind. He collapsed. Mad-Eye Moody stepped from the shadows. Except his magical eye was spinning wrong. His posture was off. That's not Moody either, Luna said. The fake Moody smiled, raised his wand. Harry and Luna moved as one. Two Patronuses erupted. The stag and hare charged with the force of their combined magic. Fake Moody's shield shattered. He flew backward, hit the castle wall hard. Real Moody stumbled out from behind a tree, bound with ropes. Little help here. Harry released him while Luna kept her wand trained on the imposter. The man's features were shifting back to normal. Another face. Another person Harry didn't recognize. This is bad, Moody growled. Someone's been impersonating me all year. Teaching your classes. Evaluating tournament champions. Gods know what else. They put Harry's name in the goblet, Luna said. And they're working with Vaith. Crouch said Vaith's planning something for the second task. Then we tell Dumbledore. Now. Before. The imposter vanished with a crack of apparition. Crouch's unconscious body went with him. Damn it. Moody limped toward the castle. Come on. We need to warn everyone. Dumbledore's office was packed. Ministry officials. Teachers. Aurors. Everyone arguing at once. The real Mad-Eye Moody had been imprisoned in his own trunk since before term started. The imposter, still unidentified, had been teaching defense and manipulating the tournament. Vaith is orchestrating this, Dumbledore said quietly. Using pawns, setting traps, all to get to Harry and Luna. Then we cancel the tournament, Sirius said. He'd arrived an hour ago looking frantic. Too dangerous. Pull Harry out. The magical contract. Damn the contract. He's 14. He shouldn't be. We can't cancel, Luna interrupted. Vaith will just try something else. Better to face him on our terms. When we're expecting it, you want to walk into a trap. McGonagall looked horrified. We want to spring it early. Control the variables. Turn Vaith's plan against him. Luna looked at Harry. We're ready. We've been preparing for this for 6 years. Let's end it. Harry felt everyone's eyes on them. Two 14-year-olds proposing to bait a dark wizard. It should have been insane. But Luna was right. Running wouldn't help. Vaith would keep coming, keep hunting, until they were dead or he had what he wanted. Better to fight, on their terms. What's your plan? Dumbledore asked. The second task was moved up. 3 days instead of 3 weeks. Vaith wouldn't be ready, wouldn't expect them to spring the trap early. The hostages were already taken. Ron for Harry, a young Beauxbaton student for Fleur, Hermione for Krum, and Luna. They'd taken Luna. Harry's rage when he found out was volcanic. His magic exploded, shattered windows, cracked walls. It took Sirius and Dumbledore together to calm him down. She knew they'd take her. Hermione said gently. She volunteered, said it was the only way to draw Vaith out. He'll go after her specifically because of your bond. Then I'm going after her. Now, not waiting for the task. That's what she wants. What we all want. The task is just cover. You'll compete, rescue her, but really you'll be bait. We'll have Aurors positioned, Dumbledore watching, Sirius ready. When Vaith makes his move, we'll have him. It was a good plan. Strategic. Used their advantage. Harry hated every second of it. The morning of the task, he stood at the Black Lake's edge. February cold, water like ice. 3 other champions beside him. Dumbledore gave the signal. You have 1 hour. Recover your hostages. Begin. Harry Dove. The gillyweed Luna had prepared worked instantly. Gills sprouted on his neck. His hands and feet webbed. He could breathe, could swim faster than he'd thought possible. Down into the murky depths. Past grindylows and strange fish. Following a path marked with glowing stones. Luna's doing. She'd scouted the lake weeks ago using a charm. The merpeople village appeared. Stone structures covered in algae. Mer guards with spears watching. The hostages floating in the center square tied to posts. Asleep. Enchanted. Ron. Hermione. A blonde girl Harry didn't know. And Luna. Harry swam to her first. She looked peaceful. Dreaming. But through the bond he felt her awareness. She wasn't really asleep. Just pretending. He pulled out the knife Sirius had given him. Started cutting Luna's ropes. Halt. Merpeople surrounded him. Spears pointed. Warning him back. Harry didn't care. Kept cutting. One of the mer guards grabbed him. Harry's magic exploded outward in a shockwave. The guard flew back. The other merpeople scattered. Luna's ropes fell away. Her eyes opened. She could breathe underwater. Had used a different method than gillyweed. Something Pandora had invented. Harry. The trap. It's below us. Vaith built a chamber under the village. That's where he's waiting. Then we go to him. End this. Together. Always together. They swam down. Past the village. Into darkness. Following the pull of Vaith's dark magic. A chamber. Stone and old. Wards covering every surface. In the center. Erasmus Vaith. Older than ever. Skeletal. Dying. But not alone. Next to him stood Peter Pettigrew. And a figure in robes. A man with red eyes and no nose. Voldemort. Or a version of him. Still corpse-like. Still weak. But more substantial than he'd been. Almost physical. Harry Potter. Voldemort hissed. And the girl. How convenient. You've brought me exactly what I need. The bond, Vaith gasped. Their connection. If I drain it, I'll have years. Decades. And you, my lord, will have a body. We planned this together. Everything. The tournament. The tasks. Getting them here. Now we take what we need. Harry and Luna moved as one. Back to back. Wands raised. Magic building between them. You can't take what we won't give, Luna said coldly. Oh, child, I don't need permission. Vaith raised a dagger. The same one from last year but darker now. Covered in runes pulsing with blood-red light. This will drain you both. Kill you probably. But all live. And the Dark Lord will have the power locked in your bond. Power to create a body. Power to return. Why would you help Voldemort? Harry demanded. You're not a Death Eater. I'm a pragmatist. The Dark Lord offered me what I needed. Access to you too. In exchange, I give him what he needs. Your deaths and the magic that will fuel his resurrection. Vaith smiled with too many teeth. Everyone wins. Except you. The attack came from all sides. Vaith with the dagger. Pettigrew with curses. Voldemort with his terrible power. Harry and Luna's bond flared. Shields erupted. Not separate shields but one massive barrier. Solid as diamond. Shimmering with silver blue light. Vaith's dagger bounced off. Pettigrew's curses dissipated. Even Voldemort's magic couldn't penetrate. Impossible, Vaith breathed. That shield. It's ancient magic. Your children. You shouldn't be able to. We're bonded, Harry said. Our magic is greater than yours. Greater than you'll ever understand. They pushed back. 2 Patronuses exploded from their joined wands. The stag and hare massive and furious and blazing with light so bright the chamber walls cracked. Pettigrew screamed and fled. Tried to apparate but the wards held him. The stag charged and Peter went down. Vaith swung the dagger desperately. Luna disarmed him with a perfect Expelliarmus. Harry caught the dagger and hurled it away. That left Voldemort. The Dark Lord's red eyes fixed on them with hatred and fear. You dare. Children daring to oppose me. I am Lord Voldemort. I am immortal. I am. Scared, Luna said. We can see it. You're terrified of us. Of what we represent. 2 people who love each other completely. Who trust each other absolutely. That's power you'll never have. I don't need love. I have power. You have nothing. No body. No followers here to protect you. Just fragments. Echoes. Harry raised his wand higher. And we're done being scared of echoes. They cast together. One spell. Combined. The most powerful magic they'd ever attempted. Expecto Patronum. The Patronuses merged, became one being. Stag and Hare united into something new. Something unprecedented. A creature of pure silver light with antlers and long ears and eyes that blazed with ancient power. It charged Voldemort. The Dark Lord screamed, threw up shields, cast killing curses. Nothing worked. The merged Patronus tore through everything. Hit him head on. Voldemort's form disintegrated. His spirit, or whatever he was, ripped apart. Fragments scattering like smoke. He was gone. Not dead, but banished, weakened. It would be years before he could attempt another return. Vaith was on his knees. No, this wasn't. You weren't supposed to be this strong. No bonded pair has ever. We're not like other bonded pairs, Harry said. We chose this. Every day for 6 years. Chose each other. Chose to grow together. That makes us stronger than anything you could steal or drain or steal. Please. Vaith was crying. Old and pathetic and dying. I just wanted to live. Is that so wrong? To want to survive. Not wrong. But not worth killing for. Luna's expression was sad. You spent decades hunting bonded pairs. Trying to steal what they had. But you never understood that you can't steal love. Can't steal connection. Those things only work when they're freely given. Vaith collapsed completely. His breathing slowed. His chest stopped moving. He died there in that underwater chamber. Finally. Completely. Peter Pettigrew was unconscious. Still breathing but down. The chamber was quiet except for Harry and Luna's ragged breathing. Is it over? Harry whispered. For now. Voldemort will try again someday. But not soon. We bought years. Maybe decades. Luna took his hand. Come on. We need to get the hostages. Finish the task. Then we can rest. They swam back up. Retrieved Ron and Hermione and the Beauxbatons girl. Brought all 4 to the surface. The crowd erupted in cheers. Harry and Luna broke the surface first. Gasping and exhausted but alive. Sirius was in the water instantly. Pulled Harry into a fierce hug. You did it. Both of you. You incredible, terrifying, amazing kids. You did it. Dumbledore was there too, his eyes twinkling but also sad. Vaith. Dead, Luna said quietly. Voldemort banished. Pettigrew captured. It's over. For now. Yes. For now. The rest of the tournament was anticlimactic. Harry withdrew officially. Said he'd completed what he came to do. The judges allowed it. Cedric won. Took the Triwizard Cup with pride. Hogwarts celebrated. But Harry and Luna had more important things to deal with. Like the Ministry trying to question them. To study their bond. To understand how 2 14-year-olds had defeated a dark wizard and banished Voldemort's spirit. Dumbledore protected them. Said they'd been through enough. Needed time to recover. The Ministry backed off but Harry knew it was temporary. In June, before everyone left for summer, Dumbledore called them to his office one final time. I need to tell you something. About a prophecy. Made before you were born, Harry. About you and Voldemort, he told them. The full prophecy. Neither can live while the other survives. The power the Dark Lord knows not. I believe your bond is that power, Dumbledore said. Love. Connection. It's magic Voldemort cannot understand or replicate. That's why he fears you both. So Harry has to fight him. Eventually. Kill or be killed. Luna's voice was flat. Yes, I'm sorry. But you don't have to do it alone. Your bond means you'll face Voldemort together. And together, I believe you'll win. Harry and Luna left the office in silence. Walked to their spot by the Black Lake. Sat under the same tree where they'd kissed after the first task. So we're bound to fight Voldemort. Eventually. Harry laughed bitterly. Great. Just great. We've fought him twice already. Third time we'll make it permanent. Luna leaned against him. But not today. Not this year. Today we rest. We recover. We enjoy being alive. How are you so calm about this? Because I have you. Because we have each other. Because 6 years ago I met a boy on a beach who was brave and kind and lonely. And I decided then that I'd never let him be alone again. Luna kissed his cheek. Prophecy or no prophecy. Dark Lords or no Dark Lords. We're together. That's all that matters. Harry wrapped his arms around her. I love you. I love you too. Always have. Always will. They sat there as the sun set over the lake. 2 14-year-olds who'd fought dark wizards and survived a assassination attempts and loved each other with a fierceness that terrified adults. The future was uncertain. Voldemort would return. Other threats would come. The Ministry would keep watching them. But they had each other. Had their bond. Had proven over and over that together they were stronger than anything the world threw at them. And that was enough. More than enough. It was everything. The Hogwarts Express pulled out of the station. Harry sat with Luna, Ron, Hermione, and Neville. They were talking about summer plans. About seeing each other. About fourth year finally being over. Mental year, Ron said. Dragons, merpeople, dark wizards. You two are magnets for trouble. We don't seek it out, Harry protested. It seeks you out. Because you're both marked. Potter by prophecy. Lovegood by bond. You're important whether you want to be or not. Doesn't mean we have to like it, Luna said. But she was smiling. The countryside rolled by. Green and peaceful. So different from underwater chambers and dark magic. Harry held Luna's hand. Felt the bond humming between them. Constant. Comforting. Home. They'd survived another year. Another hunt. Another threat. And they'd grown stronger for it. Whatever came next. 5th year. 6th year. The final battle with Voldemort. They'd face it the same way they'd faced everything since that beach in Cornwall. Together. Always together. The train carried them south toward summer and rest in the promise of more adventures to come. Harry looked at Luna. She looked back. Neither of them said anything. They didn't need to. The bond said everything that mattered. We're going to be okay. Yeah, we are. Whatever comes. Whatever comes. Together. The sun set over the English countryside. The future stretched ahead uncertain but no longer terrifying. Because Harry Potter wasn't alone anymore. He had Luna Lovegood. Had their bond. Had friends who believed in them. Had love that had been forged through 6 years of letters and coins and fighting side by side. That was more powerful than any dark magic. More powerful than prophecies or destiny or fate. It was a choice they made every day. To love. To trust. To be together. And that choice had saved them. Would keep saving them. For as long as they both lived. Chapter 5 End.